it out and start it back up now. So, like I said, we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna get this thing rolling in a little bit. We're just letting some of our people come in. We're letting some of our people come in. Shout out to you, Leon, as well too. Like I said, Leon, I know you want to actually talk about this. Right now, we see the thing going back on with Bill Cosby, Brittney Griner. Of course, we got this thing that we're gonna talk about also with the Good Morning America host. It's funny that this cat got suspended. He's still suspended. Like they let the lady come back to work. So, but they trying to say that he had multiple affairs or some crap or something like that. Then you got this whole incident at Starbucks with a black lady placed an order and on her tab or her slip they put monkey on there. So just a bunch of different things going on that we want to touch up on, man. This is just a Thursday night space that we're trying to get our people to come up in and participate in and talk as always. So peace to everybody that's going to be coming up in the space. Y'all go ahead and tweet it out as well too. We'll be starting shortly. We will be starting shortly. And Carissa, I know Carissa, you be hitting me up with a lot of DMs and stuff. So I know you always know what's going on in terms of the entertainment and the news and stuff like that. So shout out to you for always keeping me informed on what's going on in the world as well too. So I definitely appreciate that. Definitely appreciate that. Go ahead and get this thing started in just a little bit. Get it started in just a little bit. Leon. So Ray, man, what's been going on today, man? You tell me Ray caught up in the Matrix already.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you, man. What's been going on?
Same old, bro. Work. Up at 5 a.m., man. I've been on for about a good 2, 3 hours.
Yeah, Ray, you tweeted out the Brittney Griner story early this morning, didn't you?
Yeah, when I tagged you in it, yeah.
No, okay. Yeah, I know y'all I'm about to say I know you tweeted out pretty early this morning, so
Yeah, man. DJ, you want to talk about going hard, man? I got on your space. It's probably about 9 something. I got, it wasn't this morning, the morning before, and DJ was still going on at 5 in the morning. Oh, God dang, boy.
yeah, DJ, they be going serious in this space, man. Like hold on, DJ had a space last night? Cause I
No, no, that's why I said not last night, the night before
okay,
last.
the night before last. Okay, I'm like, yeah, I like DJ because I know we was up in the space last night, the one with Marcel had for a minute when they had Ron Dalton up in there. So yeah, okay, I'm like DJ had a space last night, like, cause I know we both was up in that space. What's up, Tony? What's up, Professor?
That was a good one too, man. He had that debate with that guy that popped in and was trying to call the film anti-Semitic, and the guy was defending his film. So that was actually a pretty good space for Brother Marcel.
Yeah, like I said, we didn't catch it all because we was actually live when they started going as well too. So we went up in that space afterwards. It was a pretty good space from what I heard. I got on there and I told him like also that I want to go ahead and try to connect. He gave me his number and his email address because I want to have him up in the news over space and do an interview with him as well too. So hopefully we'll go ahead and we'll get a chance to have him up in the actual news total space as well. So
That's
that'll
something
be
good. Hey, don't forget, bro. I don't know if you remember a while back, you had me reach out to me. You know why? I still got those brothers. They said they wanted to sit down with you or talk with you.
yeah, I never really heard nothing back. So I'm the type too, man. If I'm gonna have you in the space, I gotta actually talk to you. Like I gotta actually, for all the reaching out, I gotta actually have you tell me like, yeah, I'm down for this day or this or that or whatever. So I'd actually have to actually hear them actually, you know what I'm saying, DM me or I DM them or something like that, and we can sit down and. But like I said, that's been months. I haven't heard anything back. So if I hear something just like what's his name that comes up in the space sometime, Moses, how about he want to hold a business space, and I'm like, hey Moses, you want to hold a business space? You know what I'm saying? Go ahead and let me know what's up. So you got to go ahead and he's talking about, well, he contacted the people and this and that, and these people were down or whatever. But like, hey, I got to actually hear from the people before I can tell everybody, hey, yo, so and so gonna be in this space. Like, I got to actually, when Judge Joe Brown come into space, me and Judge Joe Brown had communication. You know what I'm saying, by text message, let me know, like, okay, yeah. So I pretty much know he's gonna be a go. But outside of that, the people, like I said, you got to DM me or you got to do something, man, and let me know what's up. So if I don't know what's up,
So you're cool with me giving that brother from the NY your number? Is that what is that?
Not so much my number, but they can DM me. Like,
DM me. Okay, that's what I was saying.
yeah. But I'm just saying with Judge Joe Brown, like, with the judge, you gave me his number and this and that or whatever, and we spoke or whatever, but we had communication. I'm saying, like, I gotta have some communication, whether it's DM, a phone number or something, an email or something. I gotta, Professor, I'm sending up the invite for you to speak. I sent it, and I don't know what's going on. DJ up in the space as well too, coming up. So I sent it.
See DJ. Oh, okay. I see.
Let me send it back to you, Professor, because I'm sending it up to you. I'm trying to get you to come up in. And these spaces, man, they've been so damn janky lately. Good Lord, like, I don't know what's.
Have you noticed they haven't sent out any Twitter updates in a while?
Yeah, I mean, I haven't had a Twitter update in a minute, man. In the space. Hey, can y'all hit Professor to get? Okay, Professor, finally they got you in as a speaker now. Like, yeah, man, I'm sending the things for you.
I know I kept hitting it, man. I'm like, damn, what's going on with it?
Yeah, man. Hey, it's like I just told Ray and Leon them, like, I accidentally started the space early. I was trying to share it and I accidentally hit start. So then that's why I ended, like, you might see the Newstoter space and it might be like it went for 2-3 minutes because I didn't mean to. I'm like, oh Lord, I was trying to send out the DMs and I accidentally hit the start. So I had to cancel that and then start this one right here. I started this like 7:57 or whatever. So I'm like, oh, I didn't mean to, but it was on accident. I've done it before, but I know, man. I was just trying to get it started the right way, but I'm like, okay, I messed up. I know y'all been seeing what's been going on in the news with Bill Cosby. We got Brittney Griner. She's finally free today. We got the whole fiasco going on with Good Morning America and the host TJ Holmes and the affair and whatnot. TJ still suspended, but the white chick that he was having an affair with, she's back on the set. She's back, but they claim that he's had multiple affairs, and I heard that even ABC supposed to be investigating exactly what's going on. So, this sounds like another Ema Aduka or whatever his name story. And we got over here at Starbucks. We had a sister that went up to Starbucks. And I'm going to tell y'all the truth. I've never been to Starbucks. I've never ordered Starbucks. I don't drink coffee like that. I used to drink coffee as a little kid, but I haven't drunk coffee in I don't know when. But apparently this sister went up in Starbucks, ordered something, and on her tab or whatever, it had monkey on there. So they tried to this is by Atlanta Black Star. It said they offered her a sandwich and a drink, but she declined it or whatever. Like, so after being called a monkey, like, damn right, she's supposed to decline it. So we gonna touch up on a number of issues tonight, y'all. If y'all got anything.
And you know what, Newstoter, I'm sorry to interrupt, but Starbucks not so long ago, probably about maybe 3 years ago, or maybe just right before the pandemic, just went through this whole thing on how they were treating black co-workers in the workplace. They had this whole big sensitivity training, yada yada yada. The original CEO stepped down. Then he went and got a black woman, and so this don't surprise me, man.
That black woman stuff is symbolism, y'all. I want black Americans to understand. Every time you see them do this thing where they put black women in these positions to replace some white man, that is symbolism. Just like they just did with Kataji Brown up on the Supreme Court. That was symbolism to make black people feel good about some shit. I'm tired of seeing this symbolism type of shit. Symbolism is not helping our people. You can put black faces all over the place, and if they're not going to do anything about our issues, that's what it is. It's just symbolism. It's not helping us.
Real talk, man. Let me ask y'all, like, DJ, what's up, man? Are you up in the space? I know you be working. You up there?
Yeah, I'm up in here. What's good, everybody? Reparations up, Newstoter. What's good, Newstoter? Greg, Professor, Leon, what's going on, y'all?
We chilling, man. I got to go ahead since we might as well go ahead and get this discussion rolling, man. What's y'all views and thoughts on Brittney Griner almost after 10 months finally being freed? And it was pretty much a swap. They changed her out for the arms dealer. Like, finally, man, this sister gets to go home. We didn't know when she was ever going to get a chance to come home, but finally they allowed her to come home after 10 years. I mean, I'm sorry, after 10 months. Thank God it wasn't 10 years, but after 10 months of being in a Russian icebox prison, she finally gets to come home. finally, I know all the WNBA players, her family, her fans, and everybody, they got to be relieved. They got to be thrilled. It took them long enough. I don't know what they were doing behind the scenes to finally make it happen or whatever, but, peace to this sister finally getting a chance to come home, being with her loved ones right before Christmas time. Whether you celebrate Christmas or not, that's another story, but, I'm glad to see that she's home. I'm finally glad that this whole thing over marijuana, is finished and done with. Professor Leon, y'all go ahead, and DJ, I don't know, your mic might be unmuted.
Yeah, it is unmuted. My bad.
Yeah, thank y'all. Hey, by the way, what's up, Ray? Carissa Dinah, Sister Carissa, Sister Tony, Sister Val, see Black National Dinah. Hey, and Leon, my brother, always good to see you, always. Y'all, I'm going to tell you something. Brittney Griner, it's good to see the sister coming home, but you know who's been on her ass right now? All your conservative pundits. I have been reading these comments all over the internet that people are comparing the situation to that guy that's the Marine. I think his name is Paul Whelan. And, of course, they all are mad about it. So if you go out here in the Twitter spaces, Facebook, wherever you go to, any type of social media site, this is what you're going to be seeing is these white supremacists and these conservative pundits complaining, talking about, well, what about Paul Whelan? Y'all chose a goddamn basketball star over Paul Whelan. So we know what this is about, y'all. And I knew that this was going to happen. Once she got released, these white people were going to be pissed off about it because they've been all over the spaces complaining about the fact, well, see, this is what happens when you disrespect the country that's free. They've been dogging her out ever since she's been charged with this, I call it a trumped-up charge because that's really what it was. But as you know, they've been dogging her out ever since this story broke. And so if you pay attention out here in these spaces, y'all, you'll see some of the comments that a lot of your white supremacists are putting out here about this story.
First off, Professor, the girl shouldn't even been arrested or put in no damn prison like that for no damn possession of marijuana anyways, of whether it was cannabis oil or whatever the hell it was. Like, that was so minor. And they made this as a way, and Russia played political games the whole way because, like you said, they wanted to go ahead and get that arm dealer back, so they used her as leverage, and that's all it was. And, I feel the other dude, I feel that the Marine dude or whatever, Paul Whelan, I know that he's been there since 2018, and I'm sure this man wants to go home and this and that. And it may have been a fairer swipe for him, for Paul Whelan and the arm dealer. But here's the thing, Brittney shouldn't even been a bargaining chip anyways. They should have went ahead and said, hey, man, go ahead, Brittney, you pay a fine or whatever, and you go home. The fact that they had to go ahead and use her as such a political pawn, Russia, and Russia, the only reason they did it because they feel like the U.S. is pretty much backing everything that Ukraine played. They use her as a bargaining chip and as a way to get back at the U.S. So that's pretty much all it was. They punished this girl, and she'd been a regular basketball player, and she was blonde hair and blue eyes and stuff like that. They would have never did her like that, even if they had beef with the U.S. So it was just a way of sticking it to the U.S. And she was just the she just was the leverage to go ahead and for them to go ahead and use it on her like that for her. You got it.
I will say this, y'all. I bet you she would never go back over there. And I know she was going over there to make extra money because, for the women, they can go to the other countries and play for more money. But if you really think about what's going on in the climate of the world right now, you're better off just staying at home and not traveling to these other countries because a lot of these countries don't like the United States. Let's just tell it like it is. They really don't. So just stay your black ass from over there. Black people, stay your black ass from over there, okay? That's all I'm going to say. I'm going to say it like, buddy, stay your black ass from over there. Damn it.
You ain't lying. Like, stay at rush out of all the places in the world, man. Why the hell you want to go to this ice box anyways? Ain't nothing over there. I can't fault the sister. She trying to get a cheese or whatever, but there's so many different places in Europe that you can play ball at that. I mean, you can go to Italy, you can go to wherever at France, all of those, Spain, all those different places and stuff. Why would you want to go? I mean, it's already cold over there. Why would you want to go to one of the coldest places on earth? I don't get that. Russia, you can keep Russia.
I know, right? And you talk about over in Siberia, man. That's a known place for death. Like, you go throughout history, y'all, Siberia is known for where they dump bodies. Just go throughout the Russian history, and that's what you will see. This is where the Bolsheviks and all the different Russian leaders throughout the past have taken people and just killed them and buried their bodies right out there in Siberia. That's a place you don't want to go. If you don't want to go there, okay? And who's that? I see some strange lady up in this space, y'all. Like, is that a Sister Rilla, a new Sister Rilla?
She got look like she got her old profile back. I think look like she got her old profile back. So
All right, y'all, I'm gonna land my plane there.
no doubt. We gonna kick it to Leon and we gonna kick it to Ray as well. So Leon, go ahead and unmute your mic.
Now, let's go back to the whole Brittney Griner. Now, remember,
Hey y'all.
they
What's up now?
Remember, they captured her day 2 after they invaded Ukraine. So why I say this is this was too much of a coincidence.
It was planned, yes, they did. Hey
It was
Leon.
too much of a coincidence.
Look, I went into Luke's space earlier with my other account, and them fools was in there arguing and hollering and hooping and hollering about all kinds of stuff. But I agree wholeheartedly with Leon, and somebody actually made that point that they literally planned this, and they used her for leverage. And when the United States actually, the Secretary of Defense actually, they offered a couple of other people. They offered two Russian detainees that are here, and Russia didn't want them. They was like, nah, we don't want them. So, again, there's something with the Secretary of Defense and their discussion about releasing this domestic terrorist back over into Russia's hands. And I said it over in Luke's space, I say it here. If they're planning to go and invade anywhere else, and this man is a part of any type of coup or destabilization that you see in Africa, trust and believe the United States is going to carry their asses over there, because what does white officials love to do to make money? They love wars. So I'm just putting it out there to keep on digging and look at all of the rabbit holes.
And also, Rilla, don't forget they just broke up a suspected coup in Germany.
Yep. So, Russia is trying to get that, he want that old thing back. He want that old thing back before he leave this planet, and that is to reestablish the Soviet Union. And if you don't think that's true, look, keep following the rabbit holes.
Definitely.
So, but also want to finish up is
go ahead, Leon.
Thank you, Rilla, for your piece, because that was a.
Sorry, Leon. Sorry, baby.
No, it's all good. It's all good. But I would just wanted to say also to this, another aspect I want people to think about. Remember now, this is also a symbolism piece for Biden for 2024. So he can get that black vote. Come on now. Remember now, Warnock only won by less than 100,000 votes against Walker. That's how close it was. So, so they're very nervous. So they really got lucky on that win with Warnock, because they almost lost it for the second time. Anyway, so and now also with Brittney Griner, would the WNBA punish her? Because remember, I think the WNBA, just like the other sports, have like a little clause of how they conduct themselves off the court. Now, will she be fined or will she be suspended? Or maybe they will feel sorry for her for being in Russia and maybe might give her a pass. But knowing white supremacy, they usually don't give us no pass. So that's another thing we have to think about too. Is she going to get suspended or fined? If she don't get fined, she'll probably get. I think it's going to be either one or the other, or both. I hope not both, for her sake, but I think it will definitely be one or the other. So, and I'll land there and we'll till we start opening up the other topics.
Leon, I don't think they can actually punish her because she was actually playing over in another league. She was not under the WNBA rules. So I don't think it'll actually apply to her in this situation because she was playing for somebody else.
No, yes, it does, Professor.
Drugs.
You have a contract. You have a contract with the whatever Sparks, whatever you're with the WNBA.
I think they got to make an exception in this case right here, though. I mean, good Lord. I mean,
I think they actually do have to make an exception here, though, because this was where she was over in another country.
Right. No, I'm not knocking that. I'm not arguing that. I'm just saying I agree with Leon that they have a conduct clause. Things you do outside of the league, regardless if you're not playing or it's the all season, you are held responsible. All the leagues got it. You know what I'm saying? So I don't really see them giving her a pass for anything like that either, because you know how white supremacy do. They break their tools, even though it didn't happen in this country. It didn't happen in this country, but it still happened off the court. So you can't smoke weed while you're playing in the WNBA or edibles or nothing. So why would you go overseas and try to pull that shit? See that?
Yeah, that is something to think about. I mean, I hope they would give her a reprieve on this, being that, you know, she was punished. I mean, you got to think she's been locked up in a prison in Siberia for 10 months. Well, I guess I
don't think they're going to do it just in general. But like Leon said, there's something to think about. Like, this is how they play. Because look what the Nets owner tried to do recently with Kyrie, and it wasn't even the NBA that was voicing an opinion of an apology. That was coming from the Nets owner. This is how the Kyrie situation blew out of proportion, because Joe Tossie was demanding certain specific things, that you apologize, pay a fine. That was Joe Tossie, the Brooklyn Nets owner, Asian man. It wasn't the Jewish community or the NBA commissioner Adam Silver that was asking all this shit from Kyrie. It was the Asian man that did all that, bro. See that?
Yeah, that's true. We'll just have to keep an eye on that one, y'all. That'll be another story. If it does happen like that, that Newstoter can hold up in his face.
Real talk. That's something that we have to keep an eye on. I just feel like the girl's been punished enough. Please, I mean, she was in this ice box. She was, who knows how often they probably beat on her over there or whatever. So I just feel like that's enough of a punishment. But you're right, that there are clauses like DJ saying. So you know, conduct and everything else, and hopefully, I mean, if you got to get the damn United States government involved just to bring you back home, I would think the WNBA would say, oh, you know, you've been through enough. We'll go ahead and we'll just maybe give you a slight fine or something like that if we have to do any kind of punishment, and let that be that. She's been through enough. Like I say, she was just a political ploy. It was just Russian. Like we said before, man, like that was just all about getting that dude back. I mean, now he's back, and who knows what kind of hell he's going to cause when he's back out here in the real world. So you got to give Russia their little credit right there. Russia pulled one off right there. They definitely, they played the U.S. and they used her as a ploy, and, you know, they taught the U.S. a lesson and I guess, going ahead and supplying arms and the money and everything else to Ukraine. That was a way of getting back at the United States right there. And, you know, they played chess with us. So I'm just glad that she's back home and she's back with her people and her family. So hopefully she's okay. She can resume her life and her career and everything. And it just let every black person know that you don't take your ass to Russia. I don't care for basketball or any kind of employment. Only chance you go to Russia is if you're part of the actual military and you have no choice. And I doubt they're going to have any military people in the U.S. over there in Russia right now. So please, word to the wise, keep your black ass up out of Russia. Don't go to Russia. Don't go to any of these Eastern Bloc nations. Don't go to any of the former Soviet Union. Stay home. Leave these people alone. Let them stay in their ice box and their icicles and drinking their damn vodka and eating their blood sausage and everything else. Leave these people alone. We're going to go to Ray, and we're going to go to Ree, and we're going to go to DJ. What's up, Wani? I see you up in the spot as well, too. So, Dr. Carbus, I see you up in the spot as well, too. So, we'll go ahead and let you, after Ree, we'll actually let you go ahead and talk. I'm interested to hear what you got to say. Ree, I see you changed. You went back to the original profile picture. I ain't mad at you. I kind of like the other one as well, too, but that's another story for another time. You got it, Ree. Okay.
Uh-oh.
She might be in the Matrix.
No, I'm not. I'm not in the Matrix. I'm in here talking to my little ones.
Oh, okay. You want us to come back to you?
No, so I wanted to just read this real fast. I was pulling up, always pulling up stuff as y'all talking. So apparently the CBA talked about, no, thank you, sir. Analyzing the WNBA's new CBA deal, and it states that their clause is different than the NBA's clause, their code of conduct, and it's called the prioritization clause, or that's what we call it. But it says there are people who play overseas that work for the WNBA, and it's the prioritization, including professionally players who are working through the WNBA overseas, including China, Israel, Italy, Turkey, and Russia. And then they do this in part to help supplement their salaries, which is so sad. Meaning that they're not making enough money over here, so they're going and playing over there. Which, to DJ's point, this prioritization clause could affect her in a certain way, but I'm hoping that they would not try to, traumatize her any further, seeing as that she was already convicted over there, but there was nothing that once she comes back here that she can actually be convicted of, unless there's something having to do with having vape pens in, I think, the league. So I'm gonna look through this information and see, what they say about, having, any type of paraphernalia on you, and if there's a fine or something like that. So that's the only thing I can see that they could possibly get her on, but anything else, I don't see it happening.
Yeah, like I say, I know they always had those certain clauses and stuff like that. So I'm just hoping that it's over and it's done with. When something that has it gets world news, world attention, and things like that. There needs not to be a punishment. I'm pretty sure if you polled everybody in the WNBA, all of those women in there, they'll tell you like, hey, she's been through enough. If you polled the general American population, they'll say, hey, that's more than enough. She did her punishment. Most of the people that get suspended or fined or whatever, they don't have to go into a foreign prison. So that's enough. They don't need to go ahead and suspend this lady. Let her go ahead, resume her career, her life, and everything else. And just let that be that. So hopefully she can move on and everybody can go ahead and just get this nasty taste up out their mouth as well, too. Dr. Cobbas, how you doing tonight? Go ahead and unmute your mic.
Good evening. I appreciate the room and the various topics you're covering. I'm familiar with Brittney Griner has been freed. And my perspective is that I don't think it's good for Black America or America to swipe a notorious killer in order to free her. This guy is really dangerous. He supplies weapons throughout the world, these conflicts. And that woman, she went there on her free will, so she has to face the consequences. So I just think it's just a big L for the country that this what happened.
So you're saying that you think that she should have been in a Russian prison for almost a year just for marijuana possession?
I just don't think that was a good deal. We lost the deal. That's all I'm saying.
Okay, I get what you're saying about that and the swiping and whatnot. Yeah, they let a dangerous man go, but here's my thing. Like, I don't think a swipe should even took place. I think that she should have got fined over there in Russia. If they put her in jail, it'd be one thing if they put her in there for 30 days or something and let the girl go. But do you honestly think that? I'm just saying, in your personal opinion, do you believe that she should?
All you have to do is send them like a Dennis Rodman or Louis Farrakhan, and she would have been out. The people that flew with Putin, all you have to do is send them over there. You don't have the government don't have to negotiate with Putin. Like individuals need to do that. I think that was the big mistake. They played Biden because now you have this killer, this guy who's supplying weapons throughout the world, who's organizing terrorist groups, and that's the issue. I don't think it was a good deal.
Well, I'll say this much,
I'm glad she's home.
Yeah, I'm glad she's home. I don't think she should have been swiped at all. It shouldn't have been a swipe. I will agree with you that they played Biden, but I don't think it should have been a swipe at all. It should have been that this sister should have been home months ago. Like, so it shouldn't even been a swipe. It shouldn't have made international news to the point that it did. I get what you're saying, that this man is a dangerous man, and I won't deny that. I think that, it should not have been a swipe at all. They should have went ahead and they should have did the right thing. The government, they should have went ahead and released her, and she should have been home months ago. It shouldn't have drew all this media attention that it drew, and she should have been home with her people already. So that's my main thing. That's what I think. I don't disagree that, it wasn't, like I say, we're pretty much all admitting that it was a political ploy by Russia, to go ahead and get one of their people back. So I mean, it is what it is, but at the same time, like I say, I don't believe and I know you're saying she went over there her own free will. Yeah, she went over there as employment. She was playing basketball, so she went over there. But at the same time, she did not deserve to be locked up in prison like she was a hardened criminal over the possession of marijuana, something that so many people in this world smoke and use and everything else and have edibles and stuff like that. It shouldn't have came to that point there. So that's pretty much my main thing. And I'm glad she's home and I'm glad she's back with her loved ones. And, at the same time, keep an eye on this dude. What's his name? Victor, whatever. Keep an eye on him because, he is a dangerous man. So
I agree, brother. I agree, and I'm happy she's home too. But she wasn't working for the government. She went there as a private citizen, and I don't think the government should have negotiated. It was just a political mess. That's all.
She actually was. She
was not working for the
government. You already know. After this one, we might have to go ahead and go ahead and try to monitor it as much as possible, man. But let's let Dr. Cobbers go ahead, and we're gonna let you read, and Professor, we're gonna let y'all all get a chance to speak as well too. So let's hear him finish his point, and then you guys can get a chance to go ahead and rebuttal it, because yeah. What? And I'm gonna say that. Let me say this real quick, Dr. Cobbers. Whether she went there as a free person or a private citizen or whatever, the fact of the matter is, what we're all saying is that, the charges that they hit her with, and the way that they were trying to imprison her, and the way she was treated was wrong. So that's the main thing. So yeah, she didn't go there, but she's still a U.S. citizen, and the fact that she is a U.S. citizen, the government should stand up for her, especially since she comes from a group of people who actually built this country. So they should definitely, when you go over there and you get in trouble, just like other countries come over here and they beg the United States to let their people go and this and that, whatever. We definitely, as Americans, when our people are in trouble, the government should do something. They should stand up and they should use their power and everything they can to try to get back American citizens. Somebody that hasn't done something that was just really, really wrong, really criminal, and something like smoking weed or having possession of marijuana and stuff like that. We know she wasn't trying to distribute or sell it and this and that. She wasn't trying to sell pounds over there. She just had it probably for her own personal use. So there was no point of treating her the way she treated. I'm gonna go ahead and let you finish your point, and then we're gonna go ahead and move along in the room. But go ahead and finish your point real quick.
Yeah, I want to talk about T.J. Holmes. So that brother, he got suspended, right, for messing with Becky. But his co-host didn't get suspended, but he got suspended. Why is that?
Well, they're trying to come out, and I'm going to touch up on that in a second. They're actually talking about having an investigation, also trying to say that he was messing with multiple women having affairs in the office. So we'll see. ABC's supposed to be investigating, but that's always a good thing. That's always a good question, because if he's going to be suspended, then she should be just suspended right along with him as well too. So we kind of saw that in the NBA a few months ago, a month or so ago, when you had the NBA player Uma Adoka, whatever his name was, when he was having an affair with the woman, and he got punished, and the women, they pretty much get a slap on the wrist, especially if the women are white. The women are white, they just barely, and the women, and she was even married to one of the women he was having an affair with, so they kind of just get a slap on the wrist, while the black dudes, hey, this is word to the wise with the black dudes. You got to be careful. You mess with these white women, you got to tiptoe anyway. So especially if some of these women are married and stuff like that, you got to be oh so careful, because once they find out, these white men find out that you nailing one of these white chicks, yeah, all hell's gonna break loose when they find out. When they find out that, and they got a chance to punish you, they're gonna punish you with severity. So, but Dr. Cobbis, we'll get back to you as well. So I appreciate you raising your hand and being in the chat. We're gonna touch up on this topic. We're gonna touch up on Brittney Griner. We're gonna touch up on T.J. Holmes, Bill Cosby, Starbucks, and their racism. So we're gonna be hitting quite a few topics tonight. So if you want to, you're more than welcome to stick around in the room as well too. So I believe Ray, was it Ray or was it Professor? I'm not sure. Ray, I think you were next, right?
I'm not sure. I guess I'll go ahead. I'm not going to be too long. I was just going to ask, has anyone heard the details of the release? Because it just doesn't make any sense for Russia to take in this vicious criminal. They're telling me how horrible this guy is. So if I'm Russia, why would I want this guy got back? Is he on some type of monitoring or anything? Does anyone know anything about it?
This guy's basically like a spy for them. Like, I mean, that's one of they top
He's a spy for them.
Yeah, that's they boy that they took in. Like, yeah, this Joker is like is a major killer, spy, and everything else. Like,
yeah, but that's what I'm saying. Like, I'm a major killer released among. If I'm a Russian, that is, I wouldn't want that major killer, just out among the Russian people doing God knows what.
You want him if you
would think there'll be something in the fine detail, like, hey, yeah, we're gonna give him back to you, but you have to be on monitoring, you have to check in, you have to do this, you have to do that.
Shoot, they use this dude.
You can bet your bottom the CIA is watching this guy though. They released him, but you can bet your bottom that somebody in the CIA is in there right now watching this dude, monitoring the situation. And you can almost bet the reason why Putin wanted this guy back is because Putin had been talking about releasing some nuclear on Ukraine. And that's why they want this guy back over there. Because he's one of those type of guys that would do the job that Putin wants done. So that's what that's all about.
And I was going to ask this last question before I pass the mic. So I wonder how long before the LGBT starts to take credit for Brittney's release, in the sense of, because I'm going to be honest with you, I haven't heard anything about him. I haven't seen no tweets, nothing. All of a sudden, now she's out. I wonder how long before they're trying to capitalize on this.
It's interesting to say, but the LGBTQ wasn't the one that got out. It was a whole lot of different people that made noise and stuff. Hell, you even had some of the NBA players, the WNBA and their people. They were adamant about it, but you had quite a number of people and all over. I mean, in politics and entertainment, not alone with the regular citizens and stuff like that. You had people, the NBA, LeBron James, a bunch of people made noise about it. So if it was just an LGBTQ that was making noise, she would still be there. I mean, if we gonna be, I get what you're saying, that they're gonna try to take credit for it, but I don't really know how they could take credit for it when it was a wide assortment of people that actually had a hand in her getting released.
Because you can't let if I'm thinking like them, I can't let a story like this, as big as it was, international as it was, knowing who she is, just go to waste. You know what I'm saying? They're gonna try to spin it somehow. I'm just wondering if anybody else has really thought of this.
I actually.
Go ahead, Ro. Go ahead.
I was just gonna say, there were a lot of men in the NBA who actually rooting for her. LeBron was one. He always actually was speaking about her. And then the other is her wife, who was constantly in the government's face. So I could care less. And at the end of the day, I wouldn't even give it to, like I said, I wouldn't even give the trophy to Biden at all. The Secretary of Defense is the one who I think had, the call to get this done in the way that it had to get done, or however you like it. But she was playing for the Russian UMMC, I think, or the UMMC team, and she was making over $7 million. Like, apparently, they make about 1.5 or more per season, and so they have to be approved actually by the Russian government to come over and play. So I don't know how much or how the government wasn't involved in Russia in this, and that she went over there as a free citizen because she was under contract. So it's a lot that goes into this, and it's all over social media, and you could Google it. But yeah, I'll end there.
Professor, you got it. Go ahead. Oh, I'm sorry, DJ. You were saying something?
No, I just want to say, I'm looking at a tweet somebody wrote, dude named Chris. He said the soldier Whelan, he was not serving Marine when he was arrested. It was a baseless accusation, so he could be used as a bargaining chip. Griner was arrested for taking drugs to a foreign country, but then was used for leverage because the media kept pushing it. They gave up on Whelan, and that's the way I look at it. We've been in this since 2018, like you said, right? The United States don't care about him. You know what I mean? He dead weight. You feel me?
Yeah, DJ, you right on that. That dude's just gonna be in there. He might as well just serve that time. His family would love to have him out, but I think they have pretty much given up on that too. Brittney Griner has, she's a celebrity, and she has more leverage being a celebrity. So that's the reason why they would give her number one choice first. But still, she shouldn't have been in there in the first place. See, that's what Dr. Carver's down there has to understand. And Dr. Carver, as Sister Willa has said, she had to go over there because, see, they don't make any money over here in the United States of America, the so-called greatest nation in the world, as people like to call it, which is BS. Because why should she have to go over to Siberia to make money? That's right. She's supposed to be able to make money over here. Now, Dr. Carver, much respect to you, brother, but when it comes to Black American issues, I just really prefer if people that are not Black Americans don't give too many their sense, so to speak, into our issues. Much respect to you, though.
Alrighty. Like I say, to me, she should have never even been held that long. She was held 10 months over there, and that was just too much. They should have went ahead after a month, let the girl go. If that, I think just a fine would have been more than enough. Go ahead, Brittney, don't come. And they could even tell her, don't come back to the country or whatever. But they wanted to make an example out of her. Part of that was because she's from the U.S. The other part of it was because she was Black as well, too. Plus, you got Russia trying to go ahead, and they was trying to get that dude back, because he is definitely a deadly force for them. So they want to go ahead and use him. The man's a spy, and the man's an arm dealer and everything else. So, Dr. Cobbs is right about that. He is a very dangerous man. So they want to go ahead and get him. Russia's about that life as well, too. They want to go ahead and put him back out there on their enemies and use him. So they use a leverage. The U.S., you know what I'm saying, want to get her back. So it was a swap. It was a swap that, like I said, it shouldn't even happen, because she should have been back. He should have been swapping Waylon for this dude right here if he was going to be doing any kind of swap. She should have already been back home months ago. So I don't even think that should have went down the way it did. But unfortunately, it did go down that way. So like I say, I'm just glad that Brittney's back home. A bunch of people contributed to her coming back. They kept the pressure on the Biden administration. They kept the pressure on the Justice Department. The negotiations, luckily for her, she did have fame and everything else, because if she was just a regular Black woman that was over there in Russia that got caught with that, she would probably still be over there. So thank God, she did have the name, and she had the, the clout to go ahead and get some attention where she was able to come back out. Dr. Carvers, I see you got your hand up. Go ahead and unmute your mic.
Go ahead, brother. Go ahead.
Okay, no, it's.
I was gonna say something that's stupid, but I want to move on.
Okay. So let's go ahead, y'all. We're going to move on, or if somebody wants to speak or whatever, because we're going to be touching on multiple topics tonight. And if you're new to the room or whatever, you already know that all of these topics, if you want to go back to the Brittney Griner topic, even if we're discussing something else, you're more than free. So nothing's off limits. You want to go ahead and touch it. Dr. Cobbs, I see you got your hand up. Go ahead.
Yes. So my question is, how is this a win for Black America? I don't understand.
Is she American?
It's a loss for America.
Because she's American. That's why. She's an American.
Okay, first. She's part of the LGBT. Excuse me, she's not going to have Black kids. Okay?
But I'm sorry. Wait, hold on. Real quick. Say that again, Dr. Cobbs. She what now?
Will not have Black kids. She's part of
she has a room, so she wants.
Hey, listen. We try not to come off the mic. Just let folks say what they're going to say. Raise your hand if you want to rebuttal. That's it. It's just this what it's simple. We adults here, man. Come on now. Go ahead, Tom.
Yeah, Dr. Cobbs,
I didn't finish.
Real quick, what you were saying is she's not going to have Black kids?
Yes, she's part of the LGBT. She's part of the agenda to destroy you, to destroy your family.
Well, Dr. Cobbs, Dr. Cobbs, let me ask you a question. Where are you from, Dr. Cobbs? Well, hold on, sir. Where are you from? Okay, sir. I'm asking you a question. I want to know exactly. Now I'm gonna unmute the mic. I want to know, where are you from? Where are you from, sir?
I mean, you talking about my people, or you talking about where I'm at right now?
I'm talking about where your people originate from. Where do you come from? What country are you from? Because I know you're not from America.
I'm from Mogadishu, Somalia, sir.
You're from Somali?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so do you consider yourself a black person?
I'm African.
Well, do you consider yourself black? Are you a black African? Are you a white African? Are you an Arab African? Are you? I mean, are you an
I'm
Asian?
black African. I'm black African.
A black African. Okay. So exactly why do you? I mean, black Americans consider this just a win because first off, the woman is back home. So to me, we none of us felt she should have been over there in the first place. Being treated the way she was treated, whether she's LGBTQ or not. That matters not because all of us, and I'm sure even in your family over there in Africa, all of us either have somebody in our family that's LGBTQ, or we know somebody that's LGBTQ, or we have somebody in our community that's LGBTQ. Um, Despite what the media says and stuff like that, and they try to paint us as being homophobic and stuff, I can assure you that's not the point in the case. We have respect and love for our people that's also LGBTQ as long as they have a black first mindset. We don't sit here and we
They
don't
don't.
throw. I'm sorry, sir. What was that?
They don't. They LGBT first. They don't have a black first mindset, sir. That's the difference.
Okay,
How do you
well,
know that?
we know we hold on, please. Nobody cut in. It's just a conversation between me and Doctor Cobbas. But for one, we know plenty of black people that's LGBTQ. That James Baldwin was LGBTQ, and he had a black first mindset. He didn't just sit up here saying what he could do for homosexual people or gay people or this and that. He was talking about his people that was black. Marcel Dixon that ran for congressman up there in South Carolina has a black first mindset. So there are plenty of black people in this country that are LGBTQ. Who you sleep with or whatever, that's your personal opinion. As long as you understand that you're being discriminated, you're being hated for because you're black. When people first see you if you're not acting a certain way or not doing certain things, nobody knows that you're even LGBTQ, but they can tell you, they can see you a mile away and know that you black. Like, oh my God, that's a nigga coming up the street. So I mean, do you have an issue with black Americans?
No, sir. No issues.
Okay, because sound like I'm hearing a little bit of issue that you having with Black Americans. But like I say, we glad the sister's home. I don't care if she's LGBTQ. I don't hear black people sitting around hooping and hollering. So, oh, this is a win for Black America. This is a win for Black America. We just happy that the sister's home. So that's pretty much the gist
All
of
right,
it.
let me say this. I don't have any issues with nobody, right? But I'm talking about what you know what's good for your society, what's not good for your society. You know that those people, they're just here to destroy your family. Whether it's abortion, whether it's a population control, whether it's a birth control, any way to whether to take the father from the household, baby mama culture. There's a lot of
Okay, 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 okay. Okay. Now, Dr. Cobbs, Dr.
I have
Cobb.
a conservative value. I believe.
Okay, Dr. Cobbs, first off, you over talking me. Secondly, don't think for a second. I don't know your background as well, too. So now I know about you in these spaces and stuff like that. And I know about the Somali and Mr. Bougie or whatever the hell her name is, and how everybody be going back and forth and stuff like this. This is a little different space right here. Now, don't come in here going in on Black Americans because I hear you talk about the baby father and the baby mama and moving the daddy out the household. I hear all the little talking points that they use to try to talk about Black Americans and stuff like this. And I don't live in a damn glass house coming in here throwing stones. Okay, sir? I'm gonna go ahead. I'm gonna go
No,
ahead.
I have a conservative value, sir.
Sir, it's a lot of black people have conservative values.
I believe in
Okay.
marriage between one man and
Listen,
one woman, sir. That's no.
okay. I'm not about to let you sidetrack this discussion we having tonight, sir. I kind of see where you trying to head at with this. So I'm gonna go ahead and respectfully move, sir. I'm gonna go ahead. I'm gonna allow you to stay up as speaker. But if you keep chiming in, we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna go to somebody else because I see you trying to go ahead and move this. You sitting up here talking. Somali ain't no goddamn utopia. Okay, let's not even go there. Let's not. I'm not trying to get into a mudslinging competition and stuff like that. And I'm definitely not trying to get into a penis measuring contest either here, my friend. So let's go ahead and let's chill on that right there. The way you talking about Black America, okay? Because your country is not a haven for just holiness. So let's just stop it right there real quick. Okay, let me go to Reed. Go ahead and unmute your mic.
So I apologize. I'll get myself back together. Thank you, DJ and Newstoter, for the grace. I'll say this in regards to Dr. Cobb's point of being conservative. Being conservative doesn't mean be ignorant. And some people who think that they're conservative, they think they're living a righteous life. And it's really about to come to a head when you try to use conservatism as an immigrant to try to use the tropes that white supremacy uses against American freedmen. You will get called out every time. Brittney Griner is still a woman who has all her utilities intact. And at the end of the day, she could actually get a seed dropped in her through in vitro or her wife. Now, she's not promoting sexuality to young children. She played basketball, WNBA black basketball. She lives her life with her wife. She ain't out front in a rainbow hat and umbrella, and she's not running around telling black American families not to have a whole black American families with a mother and a father. All right, she's living her life personally how she want to live her life. And for us who understand how to read rooms and have control over our own selves, no one is taking Brittney Griner's relationship as the model relationship of the black American family unit of a man and a woman. She's doing what she's doing as an LGBTQ person that's from America, playing professional basketball. And then the other thing that I don't like is that you never state which conservative views you lean on, because there's Democratic conservative views and Republican conservative views, and they both are racist. And if you're not black first, a black American descendant views, then you don't have our views. You have the views from your home country, and the people here in the United States also live a segregated life inside the black community, amongst black people. So I'll land that there. The other thing is, is that we really, really, really have to continuously call out the BS when people want to try to trigger us. Because I was triggered, especially as a female, I was triggered. Because at the end of the day, you have no respect for me, not only as an American, and then you try to say, well, she's not good for our democracy, blah, blah, blah. Well, there has never been a time in U.S. history where they actually went and fought for a black American overseas, trapped overseas, to bring them home. Brittney Griner's life is as much as worthy to be fought for. I don't care if they gave Russia back 10 spies and they all was dead. Her life is worth actually fighting for her to get back to the United States, because we still do have a large military. They make sure we know at all the damn time how much money they spend on the damn military, for the military to protect our borders, the Homeland Security to protect our borders, ICE. Well, they ass is going to be up in the air in a minute, because they letting a whole bunch of people up in here that believe that they got conservative views, and they people up in our country are the ones dismantling our communities. It's not Brittney Griner and her being a lesbian. Okay, so I'll land that there. And again, thank you, Newstoter and DJ. Ray be like, I'm gonna be quiet, but I'm gonna just land right there.
All right,
so
sis.
I was addressed. She talked to me, so can I please respond?
Well, no, because we're going to move on to some other speakers. We'll get back to you in a second because we got some other hands up. So we can't just let you dominate the conversation, my man, but we'll go ahead and we'll get back to you. And we're going to also be touching on some other topics as well, too. So we'll get back to you. Let me go ahead and kick it to and anybody wants to speak, because just make sure you raise your hand so we can keep order in here as much as possible, because I can already feel some stuff going on here. Trouble, go ahead and unmute your mic.
Peace, love, and straight black power to the group. Black American power up in here.
What up, Trouble? What up, Trouble?
You know I'm up in the cut, in the house. Just got
You don't fucked up, Dr. Cobas. You don't fucked up.
Nah, I'm good on Dr. Cobas. I've heard him in the blue spaces already know which direction he's come. That conservative foolishness is straight anti-black American conservatism. Let's just call that what it is. So I'm gonna bypass Dr. Cobas because see, I got a little bit of ignorant in me tonight, and Relis just summed up what I was gonna say in a very elegant way. So I don't want to research everything that she just said. And see, I come through the uppercut, but I'm gonna lean back. Anyhow, Brittney Griner, from what I understand, it wasn't so much that she had marijuana when she went over there. It was more hashish or some oil. So let's get that straight, number one. Number two, the laws pertaining to that over there wasn't what they served that sister with. So the time that they handed her down was extremely extreme, even for Russian law. So to the people who keep saying, well, she wasn't supposed to, she broke their laws in another country, and you got to respect that. Okay, that's one thing. But it's another thing when these countries have a certain set of laws and then they use a different set of laws just because she's an American and they want to stick it to America. So let's go ahead and get that all the way out of the way. I am so tired of people with their righteousness, they little, come on. Let's have a little bit of humanity. And it just seems to me that when it comes to certain people, when it comes to Black Americans, there's never a sense of humanity that gets portrayed into some of the things that they're saying because they just want to have something negative to say about the person because they are Black American. Let's look at that as if it was your mom, your sister, your cousin, your grandma, your daughter. And let's have the same humanity and respect for her that you would them. That's all we ever ask for. And I'm a little bit tired of the back and forth vexing of all of the nations. You know what I'm saying? Y'all don't have to be in our spaces. You don't have to be in our lanes. You don't. But y'all come here, you come in our spaces, you come on our land, and you want to be straight disrespectful. You're going to get it back 10 times fold because, baby, we burst and burst on this bad boy. We could do the damn thing on straight up. You want respect, you got to learn how to give it. You're entitled to your opinions, you're entitled to your views, but don't think that we...
Hey, somebody hit them.
That was me.
Go.
Trying to accept the request.
Go ahead, Trouble. Finish and what you said. He accidentally hit the mute.
It's okay, right? We don't ride the little yellow bus over here in America. We ride the bull. We ride the long one. We don't ride the little yellow bus. So don't ride that little handicap bus up here on us and act like we don't know what time it is when y'all start spewing certain things towards us like we can't read between the goddamn lines. We read them lines and we're gonna read them lines if you keep messing with us, and that's all I'm gonna say. I'm gonna land right there because y'all got some other subjects and I want to hear what they're about so I can come out on that.
Absolutely. Black Native. We're gonna let Black Native go ahead, and then I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna touch up on the Bill Cosby thing, and I'm gonna touch up also on the actual Good Morning America fiasco that they got going on as well too. So Black Native, go ahead and unmute your mic.
What's up, Newstoter? Peace to the room. Peace to the room.
What's up?
DC. What's up, Professor? Miss Trouble. All my sisters and brothers that's in here, except for Dr. Cobbs, who's a known troll, I might say.
I am not a troll.
You're a troll.
Stay on your mic. Stay on your mic.
Do not.
You're a troll, sir.
Go ahead, Black Native.
Thank you, DJ. We do have manners in these Black American spaces. We're conservative, and we were raised like that. Just saying that. Brittney Griner, I'm glad she's set free. The sister didn't deserve to be locked up in the first place. She didn't have weed. We already stressed that. It was a vape that they sell here in the United States all day, every day. She was used as a pawn. And so I don't know what Russia wants with this person that they traded her for. That's really not my concern. The sister's coming back. All praises to the Most High. I want to speak about T.J. Holmes. I heard that they let what's her name, Amy Schumacher, or whatever her name is, the white woman. She's back on the air, but guess what they're going to do with T.J. Holmes? They're going to find, just like Bill Cosby, they're going to find all these other women, probably going to be somewhat mostly white women, that they're going to say it was sexual assault. See, I watched the CEO of Disney put out a statement, and he said what those two did wasn't against company policy. So if she was having an affair and she was married, and he was having an affair and he was married and she's back on the air and he's not, watch those sexual allegation charges start flowing. That's going to be the excuse that they're going to use to keep him from getting his job back. He's going to start getting charged with sexual harassment charges. So we just going to watch that play out because that's the plan. See, like you said, you got to be careful. Black men, look, I don't know what it's going to take. I mean, through history should already tell you white women, I mean, they're dangerous to black men. And, if you get caught up with one, and you better hope that she's going to have your back and it doesn't look like Amy's looking out for herself. She's back on the air. And, she's not messing up her money. She's not going to mess up her bag, for him. So, yeah, that's what's going to happen on that. And with Starbucks, with the sister who they put monkey. I mean, come on. At first, I didn't even know. I thought it was one of the. I thought she was a customer, and I thought that I thought she was somebody that worked there. And when she came to get it, that they put monkey up there. Yeah, I was confused about the whole story. I'm just gonna say that. But I saw the video, and I think she said her name was Monique. So I don't know how you get Monique to monkey. See, this is a problem, and I believe they fired that worker who did that. Trying to be funny and insulting, anti-black racism. Starbucks is starting to get a history of this, and I think we need to be, boycotting Starbucks at this point. I don't buy my coffee; they're too expensive for me anyway. But yeah, this is just something that I don't know. They think that, like I said, that we're punching bags and they can just, say or do whatever to black people. Like it's always a joke. Ha ha. No, we're not joking with y'all no more. Game is over. And so I want to land on that. I don't know if Dr. Cobbins, the troll, is in here still, or did he bow out gracefully?
I think he left.
Yeah, good. I hope he did. And I'll just land my plane on that. Thank you.
You're welcome, sister. Yeah, he went ahead and bounced after he was just talking nonsense and he saw nobody was going to listen to it. Sir Major, go ahead and unmute your mic.
Yeah, he left because he saw me in here, and I was about to, get on his ass. He's definitely a known troll, known to hang with Mr. Djibouti.
Oh, hold on, Major. Rella got to go before you. She had her hand up, whatever.
No, I yield. Go ahead. I'll go after.
Thank you, sister. Appreciate that.
Oh, I'm in the Matrix. Damn, my bad, Major. Damn, my bad. I'm in the Matrix.
Go ahead, Sir Major.
Yeah, so Brittney Griner is free. I'm glad, she is free. I want to say that the LGBT community, the white one, did her no justice. They failed her. And I think the black LGBT organizations failed her as well. So let that be known. That just goes to prove you the anti-blackness and the white supremacy within the entire LGBT movement. In terms of TJ Holmes, he should have known better. I don't think we should be spending our time focused on TJ. TJ, you know what he's doing. He knew better. In terms of, I want to bring something to your attention, Newstoter, and I think we're going to have a greater conversation on this about trust and safety on the app and what COINTELPRO is. I don't know if you've been hearing what's been happening on the app. There's a former/current police officer who's on the app trolling and doxing FBA, members of FBA, not members because we're not a group, but we are a lineage, but folks who identify as FBA. He's telling black folks to beat up on police officers, calling black people weak for not fighting back with cops, saying that George Floyd's death was an accident and the cops should be set free. This is a black quote-unquote police officer from Mobile. And there's another COINTELPRO agent. Her name is Dirty, a.k.a. Desiree Sophia Lazada, who is Hispanic, who's pretending to be black. So I definitely want to pull you all into a conversation on this app surrounding trust and safety in COINTELPRO. Thank you.
All right. Appreciate that, Sir Major. I know it's a lot of different things going on in this app and whatnot. So everybody just make sure y'all be careful. Try to stick to those you know and whatnot as much as possible. I know you don't really know people on the app and whatnot, but just try to be as safe as possible on this thing as well too. Ree, go ahead and unmute your mic, sister.
Thank you.
Wait. Hold on. One real quick, Ree. Sir Major, let me ask you a question. What's your feeling on the whole thing with the Bill Cosby thing that you got 5 new women coming out trying to sue him?
I think it's shameful. I think that there needs to, at this point in time, there needs to be a statutory limit on at least being able to do the civil suits. I think that if there's a crime that happens such as this, you have X amount of X amount of years to file a claim. And I think even on the criminal prosecution, because we know that evidence can be spoiled, that you have X amount of years to file a claim. I think that there should be, on the criminal and civil side, a statutory limit on rape.
Agreed. And I believe this is just another shakedown right here as well too. The white media is still upset that Bill Cosby, they had to go ahead and let him out of jail. What was it this year, earlier this year? So they're still upset about that. They wanted him to pretty much die in jail, and the fact that he didn't has really upset a lot of folks in here. So it's a target on Mr. Cosby's head. They're gonna be trying to get him as much as possible. So appreciate that, Sir Major. Let me go ahead and kick it to Reed, and I'm gonna get to you, Brother McCoo. And let me give a shout out to my brother McCoo for his contribution on Cash App as well, too. Go ahead, Reed, unmute your mic.
Okay, thank you. So I think with the TJ Holmes situation, I agree with Black Native. TJ Holmes is definitely about to get hit up. He about to get hit up Carolyn Bryant style. And, I really think that some people think it's a game nowadays when it comes to swirling. It is not a game. And it's sad because the other lady he was, I think, having an affair with came out. And I'm pretty sure they're going to have some other women try to come out. And then the white, forgot her name. What's the other anchor? The white woman. What's her name?
Talk about Amy Robach, yes. I think.
And then she's going to be able to get off scot-free. And see, this is the stuff that they do. She gets off scot-free, and then he gets, he's going to get punished for his proclivities. And so I just really think that, they both should not have been able to come back on air if they were going to, make it a, all the way around, effort to say, hey, this makes us look bad. We're suspending you. But now we're suspending you for poor conduct, then they both should not be able to come back on air because she did the same thing he did at the same time. Now, him having extramarital affairs multiple times, okay, yes, but they about to sacrifice him just so she can stay on the air. And she's probably going to come out talking about something, oh, well, he came on to me first. And I would not have left, cheated on my husband had he not, pressured me. So all that's probably going to come out. And the other thing was with Starbucks. Like I'm again in agreement. You can't get monkey from Monique. There's no Q. So yeah, no. I mean that even if you can't even spell, you can't get monkey from Monique.
It's no Q, it's no U, it's no I. Like
so you can't even. That's not even close. Starbucks is just they practice racism. I think they like the culture in the company. I don't know why, because these are not a one and done incidents. I feel like they're all the time incidents, even in the context of conversations. And they need to be held accountable at this point. I think I tweeted about that on my other page, stating that Starbucks should have, at this point, be fined for hate crimes that they keep allowing, that keeps coming up with the company. There should be a fine happening, and that money should go somewhere. I believe that we should do exactly to them like the ADL was trying to do to Kyrie. Squeeze them for all they got, because all they want to give us is racism and supremacy and high ass coffee. The other one is what was the other one? With Cosby. they're hoping that Cosby does not, I think, finish the work that he was trying to do, I believe, prior to him going in. And no telling what he's able to still functionally and mentally, convey for his estate that he wants to have done in regards to maybe, put money towards, buying certain networks. If that's the case, they're going to probably try to keep coming after him. And I don't know about the statute of limitations part that Sir Major brought up because of the fact that they have so many rape cases and kits that they are not going through because they claim a lack of staff, a shortage of lab technicians and the money or something like that. So that is another issue there. I do believe something should be done to encourage people to come forward earlier on, but there should be some parameters in regards to if you're coming after the fact, when convictions are being held down, who's bringing these claims, and they would have to prove they had dealings with Cosby in some capacity that is documented. Like, I do believe that that has to be done because these people coming out, and this man is like 80, almost 80 years old, or a little over 80.
He's over 80.
Yeah, so, yeah.
Yeah, you talk about stuff that's 50 years old, man. Some of this stuff that people have been talking about that, yeah, I mean, after a while, I mean.
Because they didn't go after Hugh Hefner. So I'm just,
Yeah, we mentioned that the other night too. Like Hugh Hefner, he got a free pass. It wasn't until after Hugh Hefner was dead that they started talking about his legacy and what went on. And they knew all this stuff was going on at the Playboy Mansion. Hugh Hefner was entertaining all of Hollywood for decades. And they heard about the drugs. They heard about the wild parties. They heard about any and everything else. But Hugh Hefner, to them, was a red-blooded American man just living out his fantasies and stuff like that, just having fun.
With 15-year-olds.
Yeah.
That's the one little, I'll never forget that. This woman told me her daughter was 15, and Cosby approached her. I said, why is your 15-year-old daughter at the Playboy Mansion?
Real talk. Real talk on that one.
Hey, don't forget about Larry Flint too, Hustler Gang.
No, yeah, Larry Flint was always considered trash to them. Like they consider Hugh Hefner more regal and royal. Larry Flint to them was just a flesh peddler. He had no what's the word, suave to him or whatever. Like Hugh Hefner. Let's not forget, for those of us that can remember back in the 90s.
Right, but he still got away with what he got, whatever he got away with.
Oh yeah, but I'm saying, but
bunch of shit too.
But I'm saying the thing, but this is how loved Hugh Hefner was. Hugh Hefner, if any of y'all can remember, they used to watch college football. At the end of the year, used to have the All-American team, and that Playboy had the Playboy All-American team. Okay, all of the top All-Americans, Playboy had their own All-American team. So when we talk about Hugh Hefner and we talk about Larry Flint, there's a level of difference between them, how both of them were perceived. Like I say, Larry Flint was considered just pure trash, pure smut, a smut peddler. While Hugh Hefner, yeah, he peddled smut and this and that, but he did it. Hugh Hefner was on an episode of The Fresh Prince. I mean, Hugh Hefner was an American icon, So that's the difference between them.
That Hugh Hefner, when that lady did that 2020 interview, she was the one that I guess was engaged to him. She said he had snuff films, which like films with people being murdered, that he would view those in the Playboy Mansion.
Oh, I didn't know that. Yeah, I didn't know that, but it's not really, any of it's really not surprising if we want to be honest. Like I say, Hugh Hefner was always loved by the American public. He was always revered. Playboy magazine, it was considered it was just considered a way of life here in America. So and like I say, the other one was just considered dirt and trash, and that's why I say all that stuff went on in the Playboy Mansion, and now all of a sudden, Playboy, like they had the Playboy Bunnies had their own reality show on TV. Like people forget this. That's what I'm saying, how big it was. And then after he dies, then they start coming up with all this stuff. Oh, well, Hugh Hefner, this and that. And and the family's so ashamed of his legacy. Well, the family ain't that ashamed to the point that they're going to stop taking that Playboy money that he got. So All this other stuff they talking about is just nonsense. And if Bill Cosby was at the Playboy Mansion doing all of that, that means he had to have Hugh Hefner's stamp of approval. Let's go ahead and kick it to Brother McCool. We're going to kick it to Trouble. Black Native, I know you had your hand up. I don't know if you still want to speak, but we'll get back to you as well, too. So go ahead, Brother McCool.
Hey, just real quick, yo, get in the Jumbotron top left side. Yo, that's funny as hell, yo. They cloned TJ already. That's fucked up, man. That my nigga. Go ahead, bro. McCool, what's good, bro? Be more codified. Be more codified, DJ.
Absolutely. Be more codified in the building. What's up to everybody in the space? I'm gonna just go in order. Brittney Griner, she free. Okay, it is what it is. Cosby, I feel like any black person that does not know the in and outs of Bill Cosby's case to understand that any white bitch, excuse me for the space sake, any white female coming to accuse Bill Cosby, we should be protecting our elders. Real talk. I mean, Bill Cosby was not locked up for drugging or raping anyone. And I'm not going to say what he was locked up for. I beg people to do the research. The man was not locked up for drugging or raping anyone. It should not even be a suspicion that he raped anyone because of the wrong that was done to him just for trying to purchase a goddamn television station to better black people. Come on. We got to do better with that. And TJ Holmes, Nearly Fuller Jr. told you a long time ago that when you have sex with the prisoner guard or the warden of the prison, you are still a prisoner after she leaves your bed. So, TJ, got what you deserve, bro. Hey, we tried to warn you, and your elders tried to warn you. You went against the grain, so you got what you got. Starbucks. For all of this goddamn tuition reimbursement that they do, for all these college courses that you offer your employees, and we still got racism, white supremacy being practiced in your establishment. I feel like Starbucks should be put on trial. I feel like the ADL should be put on trial for harassment and defamation of character of Kyrie and many others. I feel like we should have the unified heart and anger, but codified and constructive anger to go against the ADL for all of their crimes that they committed against black people with their anti-black racism. Because that's what the ADL is all about. Now it's time for the Jews to be put on trial, and I'll say for the station's sake, 11. But they need to be put on trial, and money needs to be taken out of their mouths. Because this is enough. Enough is enough, like my girl name. Enough is enough. You know what I'm saying? We got to stand for something, or we got to stop falling for nothing. You know what I'm saying? And I'll land there.
Real talk, brother. Real talk. Guys, I forgot to actually, I'm going to go ahead and put the actual YouTube channel and the actual newsletter in the Jumbotron. When I do, if you have not subscribed to us, go ahead and make sure you subscribe to both the YouTube channel and the newsletter as well, too. If y'all didn't catch the space last night, make sure y'all catch that space last night. I see that space did 132 people live, the one that we were talking about, Van Jones and white supremacy on the college campuses. Since then, that space has had over 4,000 recordings. So a bunch of people have caught that space. So if you guys in the space, any guys in the space, and get a chance to listen to the space last night, like I said, that space live, we did 132 people. Now the space is up to 4,459. It had over 4,327 actual people listen to the recording. So y'all make sure y'all go ahead and check that space out last night. I did not expect that space to do those kind of numbers. After the actual live, I've had spaces that jumped up and stuff like that, but that space just really just shot off the roof right there. So it was a pretty good space last night. And we also went into Marcel's space when they was talking about when Marcel was talking about the Jewish people and stuff like that, and you had Ron Dalton up in that space as well too. So that was a pretty good space last night. So you guys make sure y'all go ahead and y'all catch that up as well too. Also, make sure you guys support us on YouTube. Support us on Cash App if you can. That's $Newstoter. $Newstoter. Newstoter is the largest Black-owned news curation platform today in America. Let me go ahead and kick it to Trouble. Then we got Black Native, and then we got Professor. So go ahead and unmute your mic.
I forgot what I was gonna say, but anyhow, with Cosby, I wish they leave Cosby alone. This is getting to be ridiculous now. You would have thought that if there was anybody out there that felt like he snatched their cooch, they would have came out when the mother woman was coming out talking about he got the cat. So the man done been to jail, done got out of jail, and all of a sudden, oh yeah, I remember he got my coochie back in the day. You know, and Hugh Hefner was Jeffrey Epstein before Epstein was Epstein. But there's so much fake outrage about Epstein when Hefner was doing it a long way, but he was every man's fantasy, like the old girl say. You know, he was every man's fantasy. Every man wanted to be Hugh Hefner back in the day, so it was okay. And that was during the same era when Bill Cosby was coming up, so it was okay. But our brothers have to remember what's good for the goose is not good for the gander. What white men get away with, black men cannot get away with, and that's why T.J. Holmes is in the situation that he's in. You know, he let his little wayward dick get ahead of him. You know, good and goddamn well, you can't be smashing all of them white women on the job. Whether he really smashed all of them or not, I guess it'll soon to be revealed. But I kind of figured that something else was going to come out of that when it was revealed that him and the woman was caught creeping with each other. The thing about that is they had reported that before both of them had got married, or before the woman, rather the first woman, when she was getting married to the husband, she was married and the man was married, and they was both creeping on their partners with each other. The white woman was. So she was in a previous relationship, and the man that she had ended up marrying, that she's married to now, was married. So she was the side piece then. And she also had somebody else. So this isn't her first rodeo. But again, she lily white. And so TJ, he got caught up. He gonna have to hold his own nuts on this one, because brother's gotta learn, man. You gotta learn at some point in time. What are we not looking at history and how things go? I mean, good God. Starbucks been trash. Starbucks been trash since Starbucks came out. And the $8, $10 coffees and teas that they serve ain't worth the fuck. I don't even know why we still patronage them. You know, I'd rather have a cup of instant coffee than some Starbucks bullshit. That overpriced bullshit. You know, we got to stop patronizing them. At this point, it's blatant, and you setting your own self up. At the same time, there's a lot of things that Black Americans that we fight for, we fight against, we come out against, we speak out against. And every time we turn around, it's like we're in a new fight. There's something new that's coming up. We continue to have these battles, and I'm sorry, I hate to say it. I don't mean to be divisive. I guess maybe Dr. Cobb's done kicked up some dust, and I'm just going to go ahead and goddamn say it. You know, the whole time we're fighting for something, the reason why we cannot get where we need to be at with all of these fights that we have, because we constantly the ones willing to fight, because we're fighting it by ourselves. We got too many other groups over here that is actively fighting against us as we're fighting this bullshit.
Say that again, Trouble. Say it again and louder. Louder. Put it based in your voice. Girl, say it again.
Listen, as we are fighting this bullshit, this insidious white supremacist bullshit on this land, we constantly in a fight. And every time we make a little bit of headway, these groups come back and they unpin everything that we do. Because we can say, don't cross the picket line. And it seems like just because we say not to do it, they go out and do it. I'm going to support the Starbucks. This is not my fight. This is you American Negroes fight. And it's so fucking frustrating. It's so frustrating. They love being on this app talking Black Americans is doing to us, and y'all are so that hateful shit. We can't get 10 steps forward without getting knocked 15 back because we got too many people that look like us, that want to cosplay us, that want to read the bus, but don't want to help us in a fight that now, it's all good. You don't want to fight white supremacy on your land. You don't want to fight it over here. That's all well and good, but sit back, stand by, sit down, let us do what it is that we got to do because in the end, it'll make it better for you. But what the fuck about that don't y'all get? I don't know what more it is that we can damn do. Because it seems like we're doing all that we can do, but we got too many other groups that are not willing to do it, and it's like white people say, don't cross the picket line. We ain't fucking with Kellogg's cereal, goddammit. They get A, B, and C, and I don't care if the white people come from Ukraine, I don't care if they come from Poland, or Norway, or any other continent. They stick together and they decide we're not crossing that damn picket line. But Black Americans will say, don't cross this picket line, and the motherfuckers will cross that shit just because. I'm sorry, y'all. I'm a little bit too heated. It's irritating. I'm gonna land my plane on that because I'm irritated.
Hey, you had me dying. How you started off, and you talk about trying to snatch that cat. I'm glad I had my mic muted. Like, you was killing me with that. Like, I love to hear women talk like that. Oh my god! Like, you had me rolling here. Trouble was going in. Like, I love hearing that kind of stuff, man. Especially when a woman says. It's one thing if a man says it, but when they hear another sister say it. Oh Lord, Black Native, go ahead and unmute your mic.
Shoot, I was trying to be nice when I saw that damn profile pic with that big ass forehead. That was enough for me. Like she said, I was trying to be nice and polite because we in Newstoter space, so I try not to go ham on people. But that fucking forehead did it for me. And then you was like, let's not talk about Dr. Cobbs. No, let's talk about him. Let's talk about that big ass 500 head that you got in your profile pic where your hairline is pushed all the way back to your damn ears. We should have been talking, but I didn't want to do that. Yeah, these people that cosplayers, I was having the same conversation with my mother today in the car, and she was asking me about, did you hear about this shooting where this black man put on a bat? She said this happened in New York. I don't know what she's talking about. He put on a gas mask, went in the subway train, and was shooting people, but he didn't kill nobody. And I think he was a foreigner. So she said, why the fuck? She said, I have a problem with all of these people coming over here who are foreigners pretending to be Black Americans. But when they doing good, I'm not no Akata. She even said the word Akata. I was like, damn, man, you know that word? She even said Akata. But when they doing some messed up shit, they always try to act like they Black Americans. I said, man, that's the same conversation we be having in these spaces all day. We talking about delineating from these people, kicking these people out the motherfucking paint. I wish we could send them back home, but unfortunately we can't do that because they're here, unless they're, legally. But, I mean, they're in the way. Like she said, we'll be like, don't cross the picket line. They'd be like, no, Akata, move out the way. We don't have nothing to do with you. And go right on over there. You are stopping our progress. And they know it. And they don't give a damn. So this thing from Twitter has leaked over into TikTok, where you literally have African women saying that Black American women are jealous of them and, they don't hate on them. Girl, bye. Believe me, we ain't hating on you. Believe me when I say that. But this is what's going on in these, not just in Twitter, it's on TikTok, it's probably on Instagram. So it's the delineation. They butt hurt. They know that they've been riding our coattails, and now we like, nah, y'all on your own. You said we was never y'all part of y'all people. Okay, let's go with that. We good with that now. So yeah, but I wanted to speak on when we were speaking about what's the guy from Playboy, Hugh Hefner, and you were speaking about how the Playboy Bunnies had started their own. They had their own sitcom. You remember the young lady? What was her name? Kendra.
She ended up marrying a football player. Yeah.
Remember that the mixed football player, but she was one of his hoes, and she was mad young. So, but he had snuff films, and he was raping women. The woman that he was with, I think her name was Holly. She used to be on that when he had his own little spin-off, and it was three of them. I think he had the main one was Holly. So she did a 2020 interview, and she was talking about how he had raped her, how he made her watch snuff films. He was doing a whole bunch of shit. I'm like, why y'all wait till this man died? But you want Bill Cosby, and now you trying to bring up some more old ass white woman from the 1970s to accuse, because like you said, they want to see him in jail. They want to, when you type in Bill Cosby, the first thing that pop up when you look at his Wikipedia, sex offender. So that's the label that you see when you type in Bill Cosby name. Not all the other shit that he's done throughout his life. Not that he was one of the first black men to have a sitcom, I Spy. Not that he was the first black person, I think, to do a cartoon for black children, Fat Albert. Not all the other accolades. Not the Cosby Show, not him trying to buy NBC and they murdered his son. Not none of that. Sex offender. That's what they labeled this man as. So yeah, look, if they can't get Carolyn Bryant, because they found her ass, she's what, 80? She's the same age as Bill Cosby. If you trying to throw Bill Cosby back in jail again, which he shouldn't have never went in the first place, I don't give a fuck. You could wheel that old dusty chick and wheel her right into jail. Let her last breath be behind bars. That's what needs to happen. Since you're going for old folks, you don't care about black old people. So yeah, I just had to rant on that, and I'm gonna land my plane. Thank you.
All right, Black Native. Let's go ahead and kick it to Professor, and we're gonna go to BW. Then we're gonna get to you, Ree.
Yeah, I've been sitting back just laughing, boy. Got trouble, boy. She had me cracking.
Our trouble killed me like that.
But I'm about to tell y'all, man, I be looking for Sister Trouble to come up in these spaces because I know she's gonna bring it, and she's gonna bring it with a little bit of humor, but she's gonna bring the fire with the humor. She mix it in, and then you got Black Native. She come with her fire always. Sister Rilla always gonna bring you the information with some fire. So I like to sit back and listen to the sisters do their thing. I was looking for that other sister down there, the one that's been quiet right there, Sister Mel Cruz. She been quiet down there on us tonight. She be bringing her thing too. So, but with that being said, and by the way, peace to Sister Aunt Lie up in here, y'all. There she is. She's down there, down at the bottom of the space too. So y'all give her peace and love too. And Sister Val, good to see you up in here. Now, I'm going to speak on T.J. Holmes. This brother, I don't know who all he's been fooling with. I've been reading this story, man. It's gotten interesting with this dude, man, because it's like, damn, he was hopping from one snow bunny to the next snow bunny, over to the next snow bunny. So, hell, man, I guess he must have been snow bunnying all of them up in ABC. And I hate to say it, the brother is going to get crucified. And you almost want to feel sorry for him, but you can't. You can't feel sorry for TJ because he knows the history of what happens to black men in America when you lay up with these damn lying-ass snow bunnies. Now, Amy, she got there with him cheating. She did it with him. She was just as equally responsible for all of this. But as you can see, she gets a chance to come back on air, and he won't get a chance to come back. He most likely will be out. See, and all them white women that he was laying the pipe to, they're going to leave him hanging. See, that's what's going to happen. This brother was making good money. Now he's about to lose that money because he was letting the pipe, or should I say he was laying the pipe in the snow bunnies. And now the snow bunnies are going to get the chance to take his money because he's going to be out. See, this is what we as black men, we do to ourselves. Now, I'm talking about all of us, but unfortunately, some of the brothers out here, they just have to have these damn snow bunnies. They just have to have them. It's like they can't stay away from them. You know, they gravitate to these motherfuckers. And these motherfuckers don't love you. They don't love your struggle. They don't want to be down with you for real. All they want to do is know what it's like to be with you. See, that's what y'all got to understand. That's the history. They don't mind having sex with black people. Shit, they'll do that all damn day. Shit, the Caucasoids look at us as exotic creatures. That's how they look at us. They don't mind having sex with you, everybody. But they not going to be down with your struggle. They're not going to try to fight for you for the reparations. They're not out here trying to fight for you to get these get the qualified immunity stricken from the police department. They're not trying to fight for you to get equal funding in your education for historical black schools. They're not fighting for you for fighting against medical genocide. These folks don't be out here marching with you. There's a lot of these white folks laying up with black folks that don't do a damn thing to help the cause. Like prime example, that bitch up there, excuse my French, the bitch that Clarence Thomas is laying with. See, that's a prime example. You think she's doing the thing to help the cause of black people? Now, she laid up with a black man, but she's still on that goddamn white supremacy shit, laying up with a black man. And that nigga a dark-skinned nigga, too. Okay? But you can see...
Professor, they want them dark. Like, that's the part of the fantasy, too. They want to be with a real black person. They want them Wesley Snipes black if they can have them.
Ain't that the truth? That is true. And the thing is, these brothers don't understand, though. These women don't understand your struggle. They don't give a damn. Now, they'll take the pipe all goddamn day. And I hate to say it like that for all my black sisters up in here. But that's what it is. Hey, y'all, I ain't gonna lie. And I have said this in other spaces because I was young when I was at Auburn University. You know, Auburn University is a predominantly white institution. That's where I got my first taste of the so-called forbidden white woman, if you want to call it that. I did it. That was my, I think I was 19. That was my first experience. Yeah, I did that one time. And
Our black native put her thumb down when he said that.
Yeah, well, you know, and I talked to Black Native about that too. She's like, "Oh my God, you actually did that?" Yeah, I was a teenager. You know, I was a teenager, and my mom, you know, and I told y'all, my mom was against all that shit, right? And when I told my mom about, hey, you know, for the first time, I've been with one of them, she was like, "Don't you dare bring one of them nasty ass things up in here. They smell like dogs. Don't bring them here." And that's the thing, y'all. I didn't want one for real. I just wanted to. I think it really was just one I wanted to try out. You know, really at 19 years old, I wanted to try that shit out. And well, I tried the shit out. There you go.
Was it everything you hoped for, Professor?
What you said? What you said, Black Native?
Was it everything you hoped for?
It was really the same thing as being, you know, be honest with you, it's better being with a black woman.
I was about to say, you better not say it was the same thing with being with a black woman, because I know it's
I mean,
You done started something now. We're gonna give you
a quick batch of butter biscuits. I ain't gonna lie to you, if you gonna say that. I ain't gonna lie to you. I'll be honest with you, it was not as good as I hear some brothers be trying to make it out to be. Being with a black woman is better. Being with one of your sisters is better. Being with the sisters is better. But like I said, for me, it was just that time to try it out. You know, as a teenager. Now, for the brothers and even for the sisters that still trying to do this stuff in the older age, I think it's something wrong there, because if you're just trying to get with somebody based on the fact that they're white and that seems to appeal to you, then I think that comes down to a mental thing. That's a mental thing where it's something about those folks you just got to have one of them. For me, like I said, when I did it, I was a kid. And I just did it to try the shit out. But TJ Holmes, this is a grown man. He's still out here trying to do this, and and I think he's got a black wife at home. I think his wife is black, or maybe she's Latin.
Ain't she white? I thought she was white.
No, she black. She just black. She's a light skinned woman. She black.
Oh, okay, my bad.
So see what I'm talking about? He's got a sister at home, but yet he had to go over to the snow bunnies, and he's done it with multiple snow bunnies. So unfortunately, this brother has put himself in the line of fire, and he's a grown man. It's different if you're a teenager out here just trying it out and seeing what it's all about. What's that saying that we used to call it back in the day? One time has no case. That's what we called it back in the day, y'all. One time you have no case. So if you're a brother that stick a white buddy back in the day and you just did it that one time, shit, you move on with your life and you said, shit, okay, I did what I did. Shit, fuck it. You know? But if you out here like TJ Holmes and you still trying to get with them and you're getting with multiple and you have to be around them like that, then that means you got some kind of issue, man. Especially you got a black woman at home that you're married to. I'm going to land my plane now.
Real talk, Professor. Professor shows some, share some intimate secrets right there, Professor. So thank you for sharing that with us. And I don't know why I thought TJ, maybe I just glanced at the wife. I thought the wife was actually, I thought she was actually white herself, but I guess I was wrong. Let's go ahead and kick it to BW. BW, go ahead and unmute your mic.
Oh, hey, good evening, everybody. When professionals say it's better with a black woman, it's because y'all souls connect. That's why. It's always going to be better unless something is mentally wrong with you. But I did want to say with Bill Cosby, you know, a lot of these women now that's coming out, some of them are black. And they have the same storyline, talking about he's called their house and told them to come there to the house. Why would you go to this man's house at nighttime? So it's like they're all playing this game. I just believe it's a money grab. Because no way, if he did all these horrible things back in the day, he would have went to jail. So that's why I know it's all a lie. So, and then with this Starbucks stuff, I don't go in Starbucks because I think they're too damn high and the coffee is not worth it. And but mostly white people go there anyway, at least over here where I live. And also with the, oh God, I forgot what I was going to say. Man, I guess I probably got to come back. My mind was racing, listen to all y'all talking.
No, take your time. Take your time. I'm not in a rush. Take your time.
I did have something on the tip of my tongue about, I'm going to have to come back. It's something else I want to say too. I'll just come back.
Okay. You can just stay there, sister, and when you get ready to come back up, we'll bring you back. You can just stay there. You don't have to drop down anything. When you think of something, then go ahead and just raise your hand and we'll get you back. Reed, go ahead and unmute your mic.
No, Unline's on the stage. I yield to Unline now. Go ahead. I'll come after her.
Lie, you want
to? I just want to say that TJ Holmes, I don't know. I just never been attracted to a white man, never in my life. It just, they don't appeal to me. I think the brothers always looked good to me, and I just have never had that desire. But also, these people that keep going after these white people, I'm really tired of speaking up for them because they don't know by now these people are evil and they are the devil. There's something that's wrong with you. So I just think we don't need to protect these idiots. I'm just tired of them. Just because you're around a bunch of white people, that don't mean you got to follow, do what they do. You need to think on your own. Because white women are known to go after men just to be doing it. They do stuff under the sneak tip, but people don't know because I work with their evil ass. So they're real sneaky. And black men act like they can't really control themselves because maybe that's something they're not used to. People, doing things to them behind the scene. And so they fall for it. So I just want to say, I'm tired of these idiots that keep crossing the line, going with these people out of their race. And we don't need to protect them at all. So whatever happens to him, let it happen. They need to just hang themselves. They need to just
face the consequences, and maybe they'll learn. That's all I want to say.
All right, Sister Aunt Lai, Aunt Lai normally raise her hand when she want to speak, so I'm not sure she wants to say anything right now. You want to say anything, Aunt Lai? You cool right now or what? I think she may want to speak right now. Ree, you can go ahead and unmute your mic, then we'll go to Brother McCool, and we'll go to Mel.
Okay. I'm just going to say, like, everything that Charlotte was saying is so true. You know, we were in Tamara space, and she was interviewing Ronald Dalton Jr. again, and it was very, it was very respectable, very, had a lot more to do with spirituality, piece of everything, but I couldn't get away from the fact that when he brought up Marcus Garvey, and he was like, we need to really get back to the repatriation back to Africa, because that's what Marcus Garvey wanted. And I sit back and I think, like, no, like, we don't have dual citizenship over there. If you're talking about trading, doing business, and stuff like that, I feel like that's a different thing. But when we're here and we're trying to regroup to repair off of new information and build on new language, with the fortitude of old information that we are trying to rediscover things that were missed, you have other groups who are like, no, y'all just need to try to, unite and try to lead. And then it makes you feel like, well, are we not uniting, right? But that's not true. We are. I think the pushback of us not being united comes from that movement from Marcus Garvey, because Marcus Garvey was telling our ancestors, well, you don't know who you are because you have no culture. You don't know who you are because you don't know yourself. But history shows that Marcus Garvey came over to the United States from Jamaica because he idolized Booker T. Washington. He wanted to be like Booker T. Washington. So I think that, in the grand scheme of things, when we are talking about, the elements of like things that are impacting us, we need to uncover it all and tell it from our lens as being an American descendant, and how these things impact us, and why it's important for our history to be on the tongues of foreigners and the tongues of the world, the nation, because we actually are the ones really to revolutionize everything. I mean, that's just what it is. And I feel like the one question they asked in the space is, how can we get people to unify, and, how can we get people on the same page? Well, other people need to respect Black Americans like Black Americans had love for Mandela, had love for people who were always locked up overseas. Our churches literally make it their business to do mission trips overseas. I'm not talking about the white churches, that's doing the child trafficking and all that stuff. I'm talking about Baptist churches, non-denominational Black churches, big name churches. I mean, we really set the stage for humanity, and we can't seem to get that shit back. We're not over here eating each other. We're not over here, pretending to be a part of a diaspora. And then when you speak about the diaspora, you never speak of the diaspora when you talk about Marcus Garvey and invoke Callie House and Reverend Isaiah Dickerson, who literally started the Tennessee Reparations Organization to help emancipated free Negroes, free Blacks, freedmen, and enslaved freedmen to take their money when after the Union, slaves were invited to join a union to help fight during the Civil War. You see how they were trying to get their reparations, and then once they got caught up with the mail fraud, Marcus Garvey takes the money that organization had started to accumulate from the community, puts it into the UNIA, and next thing you know, it's let's repatriate back to Africa. I don't believe that was Callie House and Isaiah Dickerson's ideal when they were talking about reparations, when they were talking about reparative justice coming off the heels of emancipation. I don't think that's what they were talking about, a repatriation back to Africa. I think that they were talking about the unifying of us here, and for us to be able to move fluidly from here to other areas, other countries. But this is our home. This is the home that our ancestors built, which is why you always hear me say, this is my motherland. And that if the ship go down, the captains got to go down with the ship. So we either going to fight and patch the holes up, and the people who come over here running from their countries, like they always try to say when they get resources off of things and shit that we didn't fall for, you either coming over here to help patch up the holes in the ship, swap the deck, or you got to go. Pretty much. That's how I feel. But you can't come over here and telling me I need to leave when your ass is fleeing your shit to come over here. No. We ain't doing that. And I land.
Real talk. Can't really like we said before, you can't throw stones if you live in a glass house. So my boy Dr. Cobbers came in here talking completely stupid up in here, like, bro, you from Somalia. And I'm not trying to, and one thing I try not to do is just get all into that back and forth and this and that or whatever. But come on, man, let's stop the nonsense here. You're from Somalia. I asked you, were you black, and you started talking about you were African and this and that or whatever. You couldn't even answer the question that you were a black person. So don't come over here starting trash over here. Mel, go ahead and unmute your mic.
Hey y'all, what's up everybody? Hope everybody's well. And shout out to all the extra people. I love all y'all. Rella, excellent point you made about Callie House. And again, I wouldn't have known nothing about Callie unless you had mentioned her. And what I think is positive out of what you said about being in that space where Dalton was, is the fact that you already had the knowledge base to know that what he was saying was inaccurate and doesn't suit or fit our purposes as a collective. And so for all of the people that were in that space that heard that misinformation, for you, Rella, to be able to, and I wasn't there if you said anything, but for you to be able to respond to that and with correct information is what is so positive and powerful, because a lot of people may have been influenced by his idea that we all do like what Garvey recommended, but gratefully you have been able to come through and just actually realign where we should be remaining, what our focus and our mission should be. So I'm glad for you. And then the funny thing about this Starbucks, because they do seem to continue to have this repeated problem. Now, to me, what's really funny is Starbucks has a corporate policy where they actually go into marginalized communities and quote unquote give back. So they will hire groups, marginalized own companies to actually do the construction for their buildings, the whole 9 yards. I mean, that's a very active and progressive give back campaign that they run. So somewhere between that, doing that service as a corporate entity, and then the employees that they put in that want to practice their little pocket racism, somewhere there's got to, I feel like we got to get in there and disrupt that flow, because something is not flowing altogether clear. And as far as TJ Holmes, I feel sorry for the man. Too bad for TJ Holmes, because I think he felt like, hey, I look good, I'm light skinned, it's the right skin or whatever. And I do feel that he is going to go the way of Bill Cosby. And I agree with a couple of people in here that said, a bunch of suits are going to start coming up. A lot of them will probably be fabrications, and there's nothing we can do about it. And the pity that I feel is for his wife, because nobody knows how TJ's conducting himself behind closed doors. So is she about to be a bunch of blank pages and this and that, and 2/3? Because for some type of way, you don't value black women, TJ, or you wouldn't be constantly messing around on your black wife with consistent white women. So that's definitely one to watch. And with that, I land my plane.
Thank you, Mel. I appreciate it. Brother McCoy, I'm gonna get to you real quick. Aunt La, I know you had your hand up. You want to go ahead and speak? You there, Aunt La?
Aunt La's bashful.
She may. You there?
Oh yeah, I'm here.
Oh, the Queen of Comedy is here.
I feel bad to go because I wanted to get on the original about that white one.
That's Professor. You talking about Professor?
Oh yeah, I wanted to get on about that white woman, but I ain't gonna put my business out there because I don't want to lose my black card.
Okay, now yeah. So don't go in on my man if you was doing the same. You doing this? You swirling yourself now.
I did mine. Let me tell you why I did mine. So this is funny. This is hilarious why I did mine. I was like 16. I'm be honest. Okay. So
okay. See, so you was a kid too, right?
Yeah. I mean, no. I ain't had sex with nobody. Now I was a virgin, but what happened was, no, my mama. Okay, my mama is the Black Panther. Like she used to tell us all the time, if we date a white person, she gonna give her life insurance inheritance. She gonna give it to the United Negro College Fund. Like she just was like, she knew who they was. You know, like some people like, oh, their mamas didn't tell them. Or my parents did. We knew growing up, like Asada Shakur. Like I just knew my history, and I knew the evils of my history. So my father died, and my mother was just getting on my nerves. Like she was just getting on my nerves. Like just saying my father was shit. Like I'm like, well, you had the kid with him. Like the fuck. So she was all talking about my daddy, and I'm like, you know what? She pissing me off. I'm gonna date a white boy. So I did it. I didn't tell her this. I should put it in my book, but I didn't tell her this. So I dated this boy just to make her mad. Like I didn't even like the dude or whatever, but I just dated him to make her mad. So when he was talking about how he was dating, so he was young, I'm sitting here, I got tears in my eyes. Cause my mother was so fucking she was looking at like baby, like listen, I'm surprised. Only reason why I didn't think she called a DIFUS case, you know what I mean? You don't know what DIFUS is? That's Child Protective Services in Jersey. She was a correction officer. She wanted to kill me, and it just was so funny. She used to always be like, "Yo, you keep dating him, and I'm gonna give all your inheritance to the United Negro. What kind of fuck? You know what your ancestors did?" And you sit here, yo, it just oh my god, okay, so funny. But I feel bad because everybody talking about all serious now. But TJ Holmes, now everybody knows he was going to interview me when I got to Good Morning America on my story, and I always felt in his case, I'm not saying I feel sorry for him because I really feel like he should know better, but I just feel like because he was under, like black men really do have it hard, because he was underappreciated in his position, because again, I don't know like who was here when I said it before. And I was talking about how he faced discrimination at his job, because if you look at the Good Morning America staff, the big black dude who runs the ball has a better position than him. When he went to college and he's been in the business for 30 years, he is a real journalist, but he was not respected in his craft because he didn't, you know what I mean? Like, you know, they want black people to run the ball and be, you know, sports and athletics. So you have an athlete who played football in a higher paying position, a better paying position, then you have a black man who took his past seriously. So I figured he was like, well, fuck it. I'm going to fuck these white bitches. Oh, people laugh. I'm going through a lot, and I just find it funny. So in a way, I'm like, I understand why he did it, but I just really feel like he betrayed himself because you fucking with him. You know what I mean? Like, you got a black wife fucking up. But I really feel like, again, some of that was part of it. Like, he was just like, all right, y'all not going to give me my just due. I'm going to get my shit somewhere else. But I don't realize it was self-destructive behavior, and he don't realize how the only person he hurt is himself. Because at the end of the day, she gonna keep her job. She ain't gonna nothing gonna happen to her. She gonna cry some white tears, and she gonna be alright. But he's the one who's gonna be damaged by this for the rest of his life. And that's the thing where you have to really watch your actions and understanding that, like, heat of passion. Men think like that. Women don't think like that. Something wrong with y'all. I think it's that Y chromosome.
Because I'm trying to figure y'all out anyway. Because a woman wouldn't do no like just to throw it all away unless she like plotted and planned. But ain't no woman gonna throw away none of that, especially not for no one of them. Like, nah, we not doing nothing. But I really feel like his was more of him not being respected. Because remember, he had his own show at BET. He was not respected at his craft. And he was good at what he did, and he was in it for so many years. And so much of that disrespect, I think as a man, that messes with your ego. So you feel like, and I mean, it's totally disrespectful because he had more than one relationship. Now he being investigated for how many times he cheated on his wife. And I'm like, y'all don't give that Rupert guy all that smoke, but you want to give it to somebody who, you know what I mean? So I don't know. I really feel like it's a messed up situation. I do feel bad for him. I do feel he should have known better. Because as a black man, daggone well, you're going to get it on anybody else, even if the person is a willing participant. Tears going to come out. It's going to be some sexual harassment, and they get you with that sex stuff. And it goes back to the stereotypical. I saw Mandingo recently, to the black man in the Mandingo. Now, with that, I don't know about what happened with Cosby. He got some more people on. I don't know what happened with Starbucks. And I'm glad that they freed Brittney. That's like, I was happy about that all day. I'm really having a tough time, but that put a smile on my face because she shouldn't have been there in the first place. But that's basically it. But the white woman, when he was talking about his story, I just was thinking about how my mom, I did that. My mom wanted to like really sell my hair. I think she actually cut some of my shit for that when I was 16. But now, like she's still pissed. Like she don't play that interracial shit. Like, when I was a kid, we knew you better not. I tell my kids that now, and I thank God that I had her, because she was like on it. But yeah, she don't play that shit. But, yeah, I just did it to make her. My kids like better not do no shit like that to me. But I just did it just to be an asshole. Like I really did, honestly, to try to become a. But I let my friend.
All right. Appreciate that, Aunt Lai. Let's go ahead and get to Brother McCoo. And just for you guys to know tonight, DJ, he's going to be holding the space at 11. DJ, right? So y'all make sure y'all come through on that space as well, too. So go ahead, Brother McCoo. Kind of low, kind of hard to hear you. You there? Just give him 1 second. You there, Brother McCoo? Yeah, you can.
I just want to say,
okay.
Like as far as just wanted to add to the TJ Holmes situation. Any black male bringing a white girl or even having relations with a white girl, the first thing should come up in your mind is your mother. I have a brother, and my brother had a child by a white girl, and the first thing I said to my brother was like, "Yo, how the fuck you gonna do that to mommy?" You know what I'm saying? So I don't know. Me as a dark skin, and I'm super dark. I mean, people can tell from my picture on my page. That's me. I'm dark as a motherfucker, and if I bring a white girl to my mother,
Brother McCoo, you blueberry fine. You not dark. You blueberry fine.
Well, thank you, sis. All right, DJ. But I just feel it disrespectful to my mother, my grandmother, to bring a fucking white woman in her fucking house. Or even stick my dick in a white fucking woman. Like, bitch, you don't deserve none of this melon. You know what I'm saying? So I just, even with that said, TJ should have even been schooled by his peers that, man, look, the only quality, the best quality on this earth is black self-respect. That's the absolute best quality you could get. No white girl. I don't know. No high class prostitute. None of that is worth your self-black respect. And if you don't respect yourself, there's no way, no possible human way that you can possibly respect anybody else. You can't. Matter of fact, the experience in my life has shown me if you don't respect yourself, you cannot respect anybody else. It's absolutely not even possible. So, I land there.
Appreciate you, brother, as always. Brother McCoo was going in. We're going to get to Tata, and then we're going to get to Leon. You guys, make sure you go ahead. Let me go ahead and put the YouTube channel. I keep forgetting to put the YouTube channel and the newsletter up in the Jumbotron. Maybe I already got it in there. My mind, I don't know, my mind today, y'all. My mind. Go ahead, Tata. I'll mute your mic. I'm sorry about that.
Okay. Hello, family. I'm a little late to the conversation, but when I saw that TJ Holmes was suspended, I just laughed because 2022, and we're still going through this. It's just hilarious to me because I'm so sick of it. I've had it up to here, with this nonsense. The same goes with Nia Long's fiance. He's suspended. They're saying nothing about the white women or white woman involved with. So I'm like, when are you gonna learn? I'm just laughing right now because you get what you get. In this day and age, you get what you get. That's it. I feel nothing. My grandparents, my grandfather, my grandmother from South Carolina, Gullah Geechee, they had 15 kids. My mom had 9 brothers, 6 girls. And I haven't seen any of my uncles with any other, ethnic group, any other women. They all have black women, black girlfriends. They all was with black women. I never seen any of that. Then, later on, we learned that we got a cousin. Her name was Tina. Her mom was white, but one of my uncles, he hid that from us and my grandparents for the longest because my grandfather, he didn't play. And, he didn't play with white people. But in my family, we not have other people, in our family. It's all FBA. That's it. So that's all I have to say. But they get what they get. I'm tired of it.
Thank you, sister. Appreciate your insight and your opinion. And it's like the way it is in a lot of families. Some families to this day still strictly black. You got a lot of families out there. My family may have one person that has a white wife or something like that, but for the most part, it's all black. But you're starting to see a lot more of the mixing and stuff like that. TJ thing is that too, that he did it right there at work as well too. So it's one thing to be sleeping with the white chicks, and then you sleeping with a bunch of them. Like you just not doing one of them at the job either. You're doing multiple white chicks at the job, allegedly. I do want to say that word allegedly. So yeah, you definitely on that one there. I don't know. He wasn't thinking it out all too clear there. So, and a lot of people believe. Go ahead.
I didn't mean to put y'all to, but I just had a question for everybody in space. Because here's the thing that's very interesting about this whole interracial stuff, right? We see black men, of course, doing this, but then we got a number of black women that we see now that's out here doing a lot of this too. And one of the most popular ones that everybody was keeping for was Kataji Brown. Now, I'd love to know what the sisters thought about that, because it was a lot of sisters that were pulling for that lady to get on that Supreme Court. But you see who she had up there with her. I kind of like to just throw that out there. This is kind of like a little extra talking point.
Yeah, I mean, and the media didn't say nothing much about it, but when you think about it, I mean, the past 2 black Supreme Court justices have white spouses, Clarence Thomas and now Ketanji Brown. So, it is what it is. When you look at somebody, Kamala Harris, she considers herself black at times, an Indian or whatever. She has a white spouse too. So, a lot of these people.
She white. Well, stop me FBA women in with these immigrants, because most of us FBA women do not go down that road. No, we do not.
Katanji.
We'll see some white men and be like, oh, they cute. But I think on a higher level, I don't see it happening like that. As a matter of fact, the ones that do end up dating, I think white men in the outside of Ketanji Braxton's situation, I've been seeing them women are actually losing their life to the people that they somehow link up with. I mean, oddly losing their life, and then no one knows how these women are getting murdered, trying to step out and date these. Like, we got to change the culture. Like, we can try to, do this swirling Olympics, but we got to change the culture. We really do. Because who told you, black man, that I wasn't for you? Who told you, black woman, that our men was not for us? What is it? What is happening? What is the sounds of them spirits that's trying to keep us from linking up together and developing sons around this mother? So I'm gonna just land it right there before I go off and preach. I'm sorry, Newstoter.
Oh no, you good. I know. I think maybe last week or the week before, my son, he's in middle school and he goes to a school that's mixed or whatever, and one of his friends gave him a letter from a girl giving him his number or whatever, to text or whatever. To make a long story short, I come to find out the girl was white, like a little white girl. Cause son, pretty nice looking dude or whatever, both of my boys. But I was like, well, we can't go down that route, son. I'm like, you're young and whatnot, and you really too young to even be dating anyways. But I like, when you do start dating, you make sure you bring a black woman home. I just had to tell him like that. Like, I know it's gonna be a lot of young little Beckys that like you and stuff like that, but you go ahead and keep up with the women and stuff that look like the women in your family. So, and that'll keep you out of a lot of trouble as well too. Now, you got some crazy sisters out there as well too. I got to tell them that as well too. But go ahead and stay with your own as much as possible. Stay with your own possible. Like, he was like, well, what about, like, nah. He was talking about, what about Chinese girls? And I'm like, no, definitely not. Like, I'm like, you got your own life to lead and whatnot. But as your father, I got to give you advice right now. So go ahead and look for the young black girls and stuff, and you'll find the right one down the road when it's time. Like I say, right now you're too young anyways, but all this leaving your number and this and that, this little Becky and all that kind of stuff, like, we can't do this right now, right at this point in time. So let me go ahead. I'm gonna kick it to Leon. Then I'm gonna kick it to Aunt Lie. Then I'm gonna kick it to Brother McCool. Then we kick it to Ray. Go ahead, Leon.
All right, thanks again, Toter. I want to go back to TJ Holmes. Now, I don't know if this was said earlier, probably was, so excuse me if I'm reiterating things. I've seen a picture of TJ Holmes' wife. She's a very attractive sister. So for all this mess that he's doing, I don't get it. Unless he just one of those brothers that think, his shit don't stink, that, I'm sorry, I feel like I'm going to the Kevin Samuel realm. Maybe he just wanted to have his cake and eat it too. But there was nothing wrong with his wife. His wife, from what I can see, is very attractive. And from doing the background, she has a very successful career. So, unless he was just bored and just want to sow his oats on, on the swirl side, I mean, that's all only way I can see it.
Well, Leon, you know how men are too. Now you can have Janet Jackson at home and stuff like that, but a lot of men, they feel like they can get something on the side or whatever. They still gonna creep. So, and who knows how? Let's be for real. These chicks, TJ got some money. He's got position. He's got power. He's got clout. And you talking about a bunch of Karens and Beckys and stuff where he work at. Let's not act like they probably weren't throwing themselves at him as well too. Now, that didn't mean he had to go ahead and grab them up, but let's not act like these chicks. I mean, we know how they get down or whatever. Now, for all the talk that. Oh yeah.
His co-star. Oh no, because remember now, like when you saw those pictures and stuff of the BMW and stuff, that's her vehicle. You know what I'm saying? Or that's her vehicle that she rented. And they, if you were reading some of the articles, he was going over to her place a lot more than she was coming over to his place. So I mean, yeah, I'm not, putting all the finger on him. Not at all. I mean, if Eve going to give you, Eve going to give you the apple, I mean, sometimes Adam don't have.
I think he got a fetish of something. I think it's something kinky, nasty, and that white woman was like, "Yeah, I'll do it."
Oh yeah, because
You
of,
might be right, Rella.
and like I say too, like I mean, I wouldn't doubt you got a brother that a lot of women probably consider good looking. He's got money, he's famous, he's rich, he's on television. Then you got these girls in the background and stuff, these women in the background and stuff. They see him like that, and, they want a piece of him. Like and like I said, if he was going through multiple women on there, I'm sure he didn't have to push up on them hard. Like I'm sure they were probably throwing themselves at him as well too. Don't be, I would not be shocked. And like, I mean, look at the chicks we talking about as well too. They knew he was married, so it's not like they didn't know he was a married man either. They knew he was married, and they were still willing to get down with him because they wanted to sleep with him. Like, I mean, so let's be for real. Some women too, we know women like even like when you talk about, and it doesn't have to be married. When every man knows and stuff too. Like a lot of times you had a girlfriend, you start to get even more attention from other women for the simple fact that they see you with this woman. They figure like, hey, she wants you. It must be something about you. It must be something that you doing that your girlfriend likes and stuff like that. So they become attracted to you. So, and that's even the case with somebody. Yeah,
That's why I have my hand up. I want to touch on that.
yeah. I mean, that's even the case with like married men. Like you got some women, and they used to call them home breakers and home wreckers and stuff like that. But you got some women that don't care, man. I mean, they don't give a damn if you married or not. They still gonna come after you. Ray, you go ahead and touch up on that. I didn't mean to take your point away.
Nah, you good, brother. I was gonna say, like the Madonnas of the world. That's we talk about our young boys because we have these older women that like these younger guys. But that's something that we definitely sit down, and talk to our young men about. Like I said, Madonna, that she done been ran through. That woman has been on more Black Stallions than the Lone Ranger.
Yeah, Madonna's a mutt. I mean, let's just call it what it is. Madonna's been a mutt, for the longest, and she ain't gonna stop. As long as Madonna's still gonna be, she'll be 70 years old, still trying to, be half naked and whatnot. So that's her personality. That's who she is.
Hey, Newstoter, did y'all remember that picture that I tagged y'all in of Cher? She said,
Oh yeah,
right?
yeah.
Yeah. Old ass woman she got a young black brother, y'all, at 76.
Yeah.
And I think he's like 36. 36, and she's 76.
Yeah, you not lying about that. Yeah, she did have a black cat as well too. So, Aunt La, I know you got your hand up, sister. Go ahead and unmute your mic. You there, Aunt La?
Hello?
Yeah.
Hello, I'm here. I'm acting up. You know how to speak get up. But I'm prerequisite this by saying y'all know I'm comedian. Because I be saying stuff sometimes y'all be taking me, I be serious, but y'all know I be playing. As the comedian in me, to cover my ass, white guys don't break up until they kill you. We all know that. Like, they don't break up until you end up missing. Like, if you hold, every time you see that dude that killed his wife, the kids, and he out there searching for her. They don't, like, I don't suggest it. The sister said it before. I don't know who she was. If she not on my friend, I would like to tag her. It's Rella. Oh, hey, boo. Oh, my goodness. Then you come up, mister. It's like, it's dangerous. They don't know how to break up. They really, like, some more said, you fuck with me, you stuck with me, we ain't breaking up for nothing. They took that shit literally. Like, you not breaking up, you not divorcing them, not you gonna come up missing. It's gonna be a search party, and when it happens, I'm at the point where I'm 100% like, we not finding y'all. There's too many people that we have to fight for. We have to fight for the black people who are conscious of themselves. Now we gotta fight for the people who fell for the trap. You know what I mean? Like, we can't fight for all y'all. So yeah, like, I don't recommend it. I believe what Dr. Umar said when it comes to marriage, and marriage being a contract, it's business. And if you really for your people, the best thing, the most important thing you could do is marry somebody who look like you. You can't say for your people. You can't talk business and sleep. You can't do that. You can't, even the family stuff. One thing about, like, I love the fact that as a foundation of Black American, my husband is the foundation of Black American, and we talk about our kids, even though we grew up on two different coasts, literally in two different time zones, two different backgrounds. His parents been married for 52 years. My father was deadbeat. There's still certain things that is a foundation of Black America, and that's one thing I love about us as Black people, that we have as the essence of us, that a lot of times when people say, like, a lot of immigrants don't understand,
as just being a black person, just like Soul Train, or just eating out the cereal box, different things that all Black American families had. That it's a thing that is just, I can't even explain it, but I wouldn't want that with anybody else, and I wouldn't mind having friends of other, you know what I mean? Because I don't care about the friends and you learning about different things, and I like the fact that I grew up in different cultures. North literally is a melting pot. Then I went to East Side, so I had what do you call that thing? Not experiences, but I know people that's Portuguese, Brazilian, Italian, and I like the fact that they have theirs, but there's nothing like mine. And with the whole that, when you think about it, especially the two people that was spoke, number one, they're not. I don't know if Kentucky is a foundation of Black American, but I know that what's her name is not. So she doesn't understand the Black experience, and that's one reason why I do agree. You do have to delineate. I'm glad y'all told me that word. This last I know up there, I want to give y'all a shout out because as much education as I have, I know what the hell that meant. I ain't gonna lie. So I'm glad that I learned that word, and I think it's very important that we do that, because just because you have a Jamaican father and Indian mother don't mean you Black. You can go to a HBCU, put your pearls on and twirl, and eat all that, but that doesn't mean you understand what it means to be a foundational Black American. The same thing where I believe like the black faces coming in, where they're putting people who have black face, Obama, in office and saying this person's a Black American, but that person is not. His father is from Africa. We don't have the same cultural anything. His mama, he came out of a white woman, and her father is Jamaican. So they don't have the same cultural anything with, and I think that's a lot of times, a lot of Black women, because we haven't really had anything to look for, especially when it comes to little girls. Me having a daughter, you want to see somebody in that because it's important of the visual, but I really don't. I feel like the powers that be understand that. And a lot of times what they do is they use that against us. They're giving us the visual, but they're not giving us anything else. Because if you look at the first Black president, again, she had the skin color, but she don't have the mindset. So I don't give a fuck about the skin color. I care about the mindset. The mindset is what free us. The skin color is shit, just makeup. And that's where I feel like there's the disconnect. We are getting a lot of these, and I believe Cornel West said it. We was getting these lot of Black people in high places, and we thought the Black faces in high places will help the other people in society, or the less than in society. But only thing that's done is they have sold us out because they don't have the mindset. They don't have the cultural, especially them not being Black American. They don't have the cultural, and they don't know what it means to really be Black. They know what it means to be Jamaican and Indian, or his father's from Kenya, his family, but they don't understand our experiences. So now a lot of foundational Black Americans are sitting here, and we're tired, we haven't been heard, and the other side is saying, well, you had a Black president, well, you got a Black vice president, well, now you got a Black person on the bench, but they don't identify with me being a Black woman coming from the hood, ducking bullets as a child, going through everything I've been through, because they don't have the mindset. They don't have the same experiences. That Black face is not doing what it needs to do for us. And I'm glad we're starting to see that. And not a lot of people really see that, but I really honestly believe that the enemy knows what they're doing with these things. And they're allowing things to be put in place because they understand how that's more brainwashing. And the brainwashing of it all, and a lot of it is brainwashing that's being done. Because even with the TJ Holmes case, even with the Brittney Griner, I honestly believe the reason why Brittney Griner got out is because Russia mad because Trump didn't win like he wanted to win. Because Putin put Brittney in place when Trump was in office. If you know anything about politics, if you lose, we're going to start a war with them Ukrainians. And, okay, good. What's going to happen? She's going to be a basketball over you. Hold her up and then try to get her back to try to get the war. The war ain't going his way. He get his ass kicked left and right. He don't know what else to do. Then when it came to election time, they didn't win anything. And I believe he pissed. He know Trump going down, so he can't use him anymore. So, okay, we're going to switch her back. She literally was like a prisoner of war to their bullshit. But it's all related, because remember, the phone call had to do with Ukraine. And as a Black woman, they could play with her like that. They knew they couldn't do that if it was anybody else. But I let my phone.
All right, sister. Appreciate you. Appreciate you. I see we got I'm gonna let No Taxation. She hasn't had a chance to speak tonight. Then we're gonna go back to Brother McCool, Ree, and we're gonna get to BW. But let me go ahead and let No Taxation come up in here and get her say in. How you doing tonight, sister? I think we may have lost No Taxation. She was just here. Hopefully the sister will come back up. She was in space. I don't know. I don't see her now. So she gets a chance to come back in here. We'll go ahead and we'll allow her to speak. Brother McCool, go ahead and unmute your mic.
I just want to add to the room to what Aunt La was saying and many others. Yes, these black women get in relationships with these white boys. It's a death sentence. And it's that way apparently for the men now too. We can't forget about the white girl stabbed with African dude up in Florida, and right now I think they might have arrested her for some halfway bogus charge, but nonetheless, we forget that they had the right, not have the right, but they have been killing us for centuries with no penalties against them. All right, so we have to keep in mind that when we get into these relationships or situationships, as I like to call them, you gotta watch your back, as well as your front, because we got these motherfuckers up here catfishing our young girls. We just had an ex-cop in Virginia catfish a 15-year-old and went down and killed her family. And this is a white ex-trooper. You know what I'm saying? These guys they've been killing us with no penalties, and they're gonna keep doing this as long as we allow shit like this to keep happening. So I think that I'm glad to hear the motivation to be in interracial relationships. But one thing Dr. Ben taught me when I was 15, he said you don't trust white people, especially not white women, to cook your food, and you definitely, absolutely don't trust them telling stories about black people. And I'm gonna say this: being a black male that was molested by a white teacher, a white female teacher at that, in the first grade, we are being hunted. So every time you see a white girl looking at you, black man, you look at it in that aspect. They're a wolf and you're a fucking bunny. They ain't really the snow bunnies. You really the motherfucking bunny. You the exotic bunny that they want to get. I land my plane right there.
All right, brother. I see Rella, she disconnecting, so we'll come back up to her when she gets a chance. I see she's disconnected. She may be leaving the spot for a second. Let's go ahead and get to BW. BW, go ahead and unmute your mic.
Oh, okay, I'm back again. Well, white women is always known to be going with men in the office and going with a bunch of different men. That's what they're known for. I think we need to start teaching our kids young about other cultures, and don't be afraid to tell them not to get to stick with their own kind. I don't think we do that enough. And don't be apologetic about it, and teach them about discrimination. That's what think we need to do, and we need to do it at a young age so they don't get out there and cross that line. And I have had. I never, like I said before, I've never been interested in a white guy, but I have seen them looking at me, and I always give them a mean look. Like, what the fuck you looking at? That's how I always did, because I don't like them. I could never see myself laying down with them with all the harm they doing to my people. That'll never happen. But I've had family members that have went with two of my brothers, right? One of them, brother said, yeah, he went with them. sexual stuff in bed. Anything you want, they'll do it. But he never, made a serious relationship with her. He always went back with the black woman. But then I had another brother who married a white woman, right? Me and him, we always got into it. He'll cut me off because he never want to ask no questions. Because I always ask him, why did you marry that white woman? Because I'm always down with my people. He'll dodge the question. He never gave me a real answer. I don't know, because he know me and he'll be clashing. But he married this lady, but he always cheated on her with black women. That didn't make any sense either until he passed. So it's like it wasn't no real connection there, although she came to our function. But she really didn't say anything to us, although we treated her with respect because it was his wife. But we truly did connect with her. We just, put up with her because she's white. And since he's gone, none of his kids come around us because you don't know what they're telling them. But that's the way it is. But I just think we need to just start teaching our kids. We are so separated mentally, and we're not together like we was before. It's like because we're not teaching our kids anything. Because not all of us, but some of us. I had the same situation with my son with that aunt. My son, I used to get on my kids about that. Don't breed no fucking white woman here, and I mean that. And my son, I'm gonna get me a white woman. I said, you get him if you want to. You better not come in here. But he never did, so he was probably doing the same thing you did, because it never happened. So he just wanted to make me mad. He never crossed that line. None of them ever crossed that line because they know how I feel. I drilled them in their head because I've been like that from day one. Because I base things on my experience, and I teach them to my kids as well. And I just can't see a black person laying down with a white person. I just can never imagine that. When you see all the harm that's done to our people, I just can't relate to that. And I think that's it. I'll probably come back up with something else. I'm letting my plans.
Okay, appreciate you, sister. Thank you. Once again, we're gonna get to Beatrice. FBA, I see you got your hand up, your new speaker, so I'm gonna let you come in after Beatrice. Tata, we're gonna get back to you as well too. So Beatrice, go ahead and unmute your mic.
Hi, good evening, everyone. I agree with something that BW said about teaching our children, the younger people, but educating them about being in an interracial relationship or to not to be in one. But I think there's a bigger issue as well. Yes, I can't say every parent, but most parents did drop the ball when it came to that. And what I noticed is a lot of Black men who become successful. 9 times out of 10, and it never fails me, I'll look at a man who's very successful, and then I'll look to see if he's single, he's married, and then once I find out he's married, I'm already imagining what type of person. And 9 times out of 10, I'll say to myself, I bet she's white. And she is. And also with the media, I don't know if people notice, when you look at commercials, they push a lot of ads that have interracial couples in it. I don't know if anyone has ever really looked at that, with cereal, car commercials, furniture commercials, any type of commercial, Tide commercials. It's always an interracial family. And I understand this is the world that we're living in now. This is the world that the white people are going crazy about because they're realizing that there's a lot of it. But I think that plays a part in how our culture is also being affected, because you see those images and it's almost trying to say or erase the fact that Black families exist, or it's not the norm to see a Black family on a daily basis, or a successful Black family. But then another issue is a lot of our Black men don't value us as Black women. You know, in the dating scene, we're in the bottom of the totem pole as Black women. You know, they'll and I'm not speaking for all Black men, but just I can only speak from what I see and experience, and um, and even when I talk to my friends, you know, it's a conversation that's like, um, even when they're dating a Black man, there'll be little remnants of conversations once you get to know them or trying to get to know them. You'll find out about their past, and you'll find out the type of women they dated as well. And the majority don't look like you. You know, so that would be like an eyebrow raise, because then you ask yourself, well, you know, this is a man who has a tendency of dating, you know, white women or other races. Um, but yeah, I mean, these are all things that we have to look at, you know, because, you know, I'm not going to say, and I've never dated a white man, and I've never been attracted to one. You know, I love our Black people, and I would love to see us progress, but I do see that there's a couple of Black men out there who don't feel the same way about Black women, you know. And then there's, you know, that there's a conversation that needs to be had, as, you know. I think one guy told me one time, oh, the reason why he doesn't date Black women is because we have attitudes, and, you know, we talk too much and blah, blah, blah. And it made me angry, because I hear that a lot, you know. And your mother's Black. So you're telling me that you dislike your mother? You know, I'm sure she had an attitude, but why did she have an attitude? You know, was she a single mother? Because a lot of times, you know, as single mothers have a lot on them, you know, and or mothers who are not, you know, they still have a lot on their plate, because at the end of the day, there may be a man in the house, but we still have to make sure that the children are fed, the dinner's cooked, you know, and on top of that, we have our 9 to 5. So, you know, I know a lot of angry white women, so it's not just us. So, you know, I just feel like that's such a cop out to just say that we're always angry and we have attitudes, and, you know, so that it's again a conversation that needs to be had with, you know, our Black men and Black women. But again, it just saddens me to see that we are devalued in a culture and in the society and in the United States, because, you know, you hear these stories and you hear about Black women being missing, and when you compare it to white women that get missing, the attention is not the same, you know. And why is that? So you know, I'm just hoping that if they are, or if we are appreciated and loved the way, you know, Black men say that they do love us, then show it, you know, defend us, fight for us, speak for us, you know, and let the white people know that we're not alone, you know. So I land my plane on that. Thanks.
Okay, sister. I understand what you're saying. A lot of things you said did, you know, made a lot of sense and stuff like that. I will say that there are a number of Black men that do fight for Black women every day. There's a number of Black men now. I think sometimes we look at TV and we sometimes get the impression, because we see a basketball player or a football player or even an entertainer, that they married to a white woman or something like that, and that most Black men who are successful are also married to white women as well. But here's the thing: that football players, basketball players, entertainers, those people are really outliners. The bulk of Black men that are married to Black women. So that you have a whole lot of professional Black men in this country that's married to you know, Black women. So I mean, that like I say, there are a number of black men. Most black men daily fight for black women. They're down for black women. They love black women. Um, you know, when you look at I think when you look at the people who date outside their race, the most Asian women are probably actually they date outside their race more than any other group, more so than black people. So there's a lot of times we get that, and we hear people say that black men aren't fighting for black women and this and that or whatever. But I just want everybody in this space to realize and understand that all the little bit of rights that we have in this country came, a lot of it, from black men dying for everybody. And I know we had our sisters and stuff that also was part of the civil rights movement and stuff like that too. But a lot of organizers and a lot of people that was out there getting lynched and hung and killed and shot down in the street, getting their heads blown off, like Dr. King and Malcolm X and Mega Evers and so many other people that we don't even know, were black men. So, we kind of have to remember that black men, we take a lot of flack in this country as well too. We have the biggest target on us out of any group in the world. We're considered the biggest threat. So we always got to go ahead and we got to kind of give black men a little bit of respect. But hold on, let me finish. Let me finish real quick since I'm. But yeah, I get what you're saying. Now, a lot of times I see it too, and I look at the NBA now compared to when I was growing up, and I say, "Well, damn, I like half of these guys out here in the NBA now. They're mixed. Like, I mean, like back when I was watching the NBA in the '90s and stuff like that, you did not see that. And you look at the NFL and stuff, and a lot of in draft time, I get what you understand, what you're saying, because whenever you have one of these Hollywood productions and stuff, and you had a red carpet, you'll see a bunch of black men with white women and stuff, and I'm not denying that. And I'm not denying that black men, we go to the stores and stuff, and we see a lot of mixed kids and stuff out here like that. So, there is a lot of admixture going on, and that took place when they started to go ahead and do the integration. So I'm definitely not disagreeing with some of what you're saying, but at the same token, not every black man who's made it is with a white woman, and and most black men, they do protect black women. They do stand up for black women. They're willing to die for black women as well too. Like this TJ Holmes fella right here, and that's how we kind of got off the topic, and because everybody started talking about TJ Holmes, and TJ Holmes was dating all these white women and stuff where he worked at, and he had a black wife and things of that nature there too. But there are a lot of, like I said, there are a lot of black men that actually do, go to bat for black women. I just want to kind of put that out there, because a lot of times we hear that thing that black men don't protect black women, and black men are this and black men are that or whatever. Black men take a lot of abuse in this country too, and black men are the scapegoat for everything that's going wrong, not only in this country but this world, and also the black race as well too. So as a black man, I have to go ahead and I have to kind of say something about that. When I hear that sometimes, and that's not to go on you, sister, anything like that, but we hear that so many times that as a black man, just like black women get tired and they get aggravated and they get upset. It's a reason that black men die before anybody else in this country. Our life expectancy is the shortest in this country, and probably if we go worldwide, probably the shortest in the world. So it's a reason why we die before any and everybody else too. So I just want to go ahead and just put that point out there as well too. Just to go ahead and have it out there. Like sometimes the brothers, the brothers catch a lot of flack. They catch a lot of heat. They catch a lot of hate from everybody. And that's not to say that sometimes we're not deserving of the criticism and not deserving of some of the things, because we do some dumb things as well too. But at the same time, we do a lot of good things that go under the radar, that never get mentioned, that never get talked about. So we are the only group of people, and we say black people, we're gonna be honest, black men are the only group of people to fight in every war in the history of this country. Black men, black men was laying down their lives. People they're talking about this and that, but you wouldn't even have a damn country had black men not got out there in the Civil War and turned the tide. We'd all be in the damn Confederate States of America right now had it not been for black men. So we just got to kind of like sometimes give black men their due, because we get the dog kicked out of us every single solitary day. This country is militarized, from the police and every level of damn policing is based and built on trying to keep the black man subjugated. Because if we can keep the black man subjugated, we can definitely keep the black race under control. So I just want to go ahead and just add that point in there real quick.
Let me add one quick thing into that, brother, because you definitely made a very valid point. We are the only people that have fought in every single war. White people can't even say that because during the Civil War they tried to destroy this country. I land there.
Yeah, like I said, I understand what the sister was saying. Like I said, and I'm not taking any offense to it, but I just wanted to go ahead and just, add, just, some of the things and stuff too. Like I said, yeah, we see a lot of mixing and this and that and going on in this country and stuff like that. And that's not to say that we don't see black men with white women and Asian women and Hispanic women and this and that or whatever. But the bulk of black men are still married to black women. Now, how are things going to change in the next 20, 30, 40, 50 years? Especially, it's a reason why we're seeing all the advertisement and everything else put in our face to go ahead and make it to that point where, hey, this country has plotted to go ahead and split up the black family as much as it could, to divide the black men and the black women. And we got to go ahead and try to make sure that we don't take part in this gender war that they've been doing since forever. It didn't start in the 50s or the 60s. It started from the time that they put a chain on a black man's neck and a black woman's neck. That's when they started trying to split black men and black women up. They have never wanted to see black men and black women united, and they never do. They never will want to see them united. So we just got to kind of go ahead and keep that, keep everything in perspective as much as possible. But Beatrice, I definitely appreciate your I appreciate your honesty and your opinion in the discussion tonight as well too. So I just want to say that much as well too. Let me go ahead and kick it to FBA on code. Go ahead and unmute your mic, FBA on code.
Hey, what's going on? Peace to the family. Peace to the family. Couple of things. I know this might be a little off topic, but I wanted to let everybody know. I know most of us probably understand that this is the Democrats' desperate attempt at whatever they think that this is going to affect us, which is not. I just want everybody, I hope everybody understands that. And these idiots I want to quote the former director of the CIA, the most dangerous man in the world out. They let him out of jail. Just want everybody to know that, that's their desperate attempt. Two, this is a little bit serious and kind of switching gears. If you guys go to my page, I have an excerpt called Gregory's Cry for Innocence. I'm sorry, Gregory's Innocence Cry. And if you guys take a moment and, read it, I have a cousin who's been falsely accused of murder that's serving life right now. So if you guys, don't mind retweeting it, taking a look. If there's any lawyers in the group, in the space, take a look at it. Tell me what you guys think. Like I said, retweet it, share it. And I land there. Peace to the family.
Thank you, brother. Can we real quick, DJ? Can we, because we got no taxation trying to come up. Is there any speaker that's not speaking that minds coming down to listeners, so we can go ahead and get her back up because she was supposed to speak? So I see Beatrice is disconnecting. So let me see. No taxation. We'll go ahead and get you up in here.
Hey, FBA, send me this DJ. Send me that information about Cuz through the DM or whatever.
Okay, let's
Got you, John.
shout out to this brother FBA, man. We hope everything works out with the family as well too. Let's go ahead and kick it to we got
Hey, before you kick it, Tyler, hey, FBA, I'll DM you, but everybody get in the Jumbotron, you know what I'm saying. Let's not forget about the sister Tanisha Johnson. Her husband is Mariko Johnson, Morico. Mariko Johnson is being falsely accused of a cold case. So this is happening way too often, people. We got to make sure we stay on this stuff. Go ahead, Tyler.
Oh yeah, I'm just gonna, because I see a Renza up here, so I'm just trying to check the order of who we got. We got a Renza. Tata was just up here, but she must have maybe she must have dropped down. So we got a Renza, we got Professor, we got Trouble back again too. So I guess we'll go ahead, since Ariza hasn't had a chance to talk. DJ, what time is your space so we can go and make sure we
It's whenever you want to drop this one. I'll just start another.
Oh, okay, so we're not gonna go on too much at 11. We're gonna go ahead and close this out. So just go ahead and schedule it for 11, I guess, and we'll go ahead and we'll no taxation. Actually, sister, I know you were actually up. So let me get to because you end up losing. I don't know if you lost connection or something, or you just dropped down or whatever.
I had a phone call.
Oh, okay. Well, let me get to Ariza, and then I'll get to taxation. So Ariza, go ahead and unmute your mic.
All right, can you guys hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you.
All right, peace family. This is Lorenzo Dixon joining from Anchorage, Alaska. Currently in Alabama for the holidays, Florida. Hope everybody's doing okay tonight. And to the brother who was talking about the person who was convicted of a crime that didn't commit murder, please DM me with a link or information so I can have the ACLU to take a look at it and let's see if we can do something to help out. I'm connected with them. So, again, it's the information on the murder, the falsely accused. I'd like to have it. I was listening to the lady speak about relationships, and I don't know if it was off sub because I was going to speak on Brittney Griner, but I just wanted to make a testament to what she said. Um, everybody has this expression in the United States about nice guys finish last, and I was one of those people that you might say the nice black guy that finished last. I noticed that white women and Asian women, they watch that, and the minute that black women say or do something to disrespect the brothers, they pull up quick and retreat it like Sir Mix-a-Lot. And I noticed that I got caught off guard because, emotionally black men don't like to be disrespected by black women. And when I was kind of new at relationships, they got a hold of me. So these white women and these Asian women, they figured out how to make things work in relationships, but they couldn't keep it together. And I noticed the difference between them and the black women. So I guess what I want to say is that if you guys are in relationships outside of black women, try to be very careful. You love that person, try to explain what you are as a black male so that they can either be on board with doing things that help black race entirely, or you're going to have to, be very cautious in case something goes wrong. And for you black women, you have got to pay attention to these brothers because the minute you say or do something that upsets his psyche and other women are watching, they're not going to tell you about their internal plans or their ulterior motives to get that black man because they see something in him that you either won't acknowledge or you don't see it. And the next thing you know, he's out there in the middle of limbo. And of course, they're going to come after him like a pack of wolves. And that's all she wrote. I escaped the wolf pack. So, I'm single now because I was able to see through what the Asian women and what the white women were doing. You guys got to be careful. This message is primarily for the black men, even though the reciprocating effect could happen with women. But the black brothers, you have to really, really be cautious. That's what I wanted to say on that. So before I land the plane, I want to express my gratitude for Brittney Griner being released. I've been making a lot of threats in D.C. I called in on the city council, and I've been doing a lot of stuff there. So every chance I got to try to make a difference, that's exactly what I did. I stepped up and, basically put my money where my mouth was. Looks like it's paying off to some degree. And I'm hoping that they're going to have some huge celebration of Brittney being home back in the U.S. or wherever it is. I hope it's close by for me to go there. And I hope the rest of you guys feel the same way too. And what I do notice that even though Biden had something to do with the release of Brittney, we're not really giving him a pat on the back overall. Like you would think that the Democrats would think that they have a leg up in this political scenario with us saying, "Oh, she got Brittney out." I mean, they got Brittney out, but it's not like that. They're just glad Brittney's back, but it's not a direct connection with Biden doing something to release Brittney from the captivity she was in. I just wanted to throw that out there to let you guys know that that's what I saw in the behind the scenes with pay attention to what's happening in our society, and it's always going to be black first. At the end of the day, when you get ready to close your eyes, remember, black first. And I'm going to land my plane on that. Back to you.
All right, appreciate you. We're gonna be closing this space out soon, so we're gonna have the last two speakers are gonna be Professor in Trouble. I see BW got a hand up, so I'm gonna go ahead and let BW get in there because we want to go ahead and DJ's gonna be holding the space after this, so we're gonna try to go ahead and let our people get up in there as well too. No taxation. I forgot about you, so we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna do it real quick, y'all. A couple minutes each so we can go ahead and get to this other space as well too. So we want to go ahead and get as many people over there who want to come for the late night space as well too. So we want to go ahead and get that jumping. Um, no taxation. I know I said I was going to go ahead and let you go. So go ahead, sister, and unmute your mic.
Thank you. You know, I say this in the beginning because it's true. I love when y'all get together and talk about real issues. I love it. I love it. I love it. So thank you for even bringing this to the forefront. I put a tweet up about Brittney Griner. I've been saying free Brittney Griner. I don't watch basketball, not the NBA or the WNBA. The only time I ever knew about Brittney Griner was when she got arrested in Russia. Before that, I didn't know who she was. Okay, so that's the first thing I want to say. The tweet says, and I mean this with all my heart: if America didn't get Brittney Griner out of there, then they don't need to get no white boys out of there either. If you're going to get the white ones, go get the black ones too. And our black athletes count in this country, every one, including Brittney Griner. So that's what I have to say about that. I wanted to bring you all's attention because you were talking about TJ Holmes. That's the part I heard. I want to bring your attention to something. There's a book, and I put it in the chat. You know, y'all can put it in the jumbotron. I don't know how to do that, but it's called White Over Black, and it was written by, let me see, Winthrop D. Jordan. It's called White Over Black, American Attitudes Towards the Negro, 1550 to 1812. And I have the book over here. And it's about this white man that went over to Africa the first time, saw Africans and everything that he, wrote down. Okay? And a lot of black folks don't even know, and there are some black academics that just won't even pay attention to it. But I say pay attention to it because it tells you how this thing started over here in America. TJ Holmes was on late night news, overnight news. So he had to work like all the hours in the morning time, 3, 4, 12, midnight, all that kind of stuff for years. And white women would come in and sit next to him, and they'd have, you know how they have the two people doing the news. And every time he turned around, the white woman was moved on to mainstream news in the daytime and got a spot. He didn't get it. And it was a long time before he got it. So I don't know if this is a vengeance thing. Who knows? Because he did well at BET. But Bob Johnson wasn't paying for that. It wasn't that he just wasn't paying him. He wasn't paying nobody else. And that's just the way the game goes with that. So I don't know what TJ's issue is, what all happened to him, and it's really neither here nor there. But what we have to understand as black people is that historically, the black man was always lynched for being with a white woman. Well, they're not really doing lynchings these days, not the actual lynchings with the rope around the neck and in the tree. They're not really doing that, but what they are doing is lynching black men economically. Nothing has changed from when Winthrop Jordan went over there in 1550. The white man ain't never wanted a black man around the white woman. And if you read that book, it talks about that. I suggest everybody go read the book so you can find out where this came from and what the white mind looks like, and that it has not changed. The game hadn't changed, just the tactics on how they're playing. That's why we hear about him being suspended. I think they've suspended the white woman, but we don't hear all that mess about her. Bill Cosby, you see what they did to him, but we ain't talking about all the white women that went back again and again and again and again and took them drugs. They knew what it was. So that's the way the system goes. And the white woman has always been after the black man. And black men have to watch themselves. And parents do right by telling their children, males and females, how to watch out for these white folks, because they do come for them, especially black boys when they start junior high. The white teacher will befriend them like they're so nice and really like them. And next thing you know, they sitting in the principal's office. So, we still have to teach our children if you stay black and you stick with black folks, you might be able to come out okay. At least you might be able to live. And never let your child. When my son, and I'm gonna wrap it up after this, my son was 14 or 15 years old. He had a crew. And, everybody had passed this white girl around. I didn't know about it until it got to my son. And he told me about it. And when I found out about it, I called her father. And I told her father, I don't believe in this. And you need to tell her, don't come over here in our neighborhood looking to be with these black boys. I don't believe in it. He thanked me and said he didn't believe in it either. And I never saw his daughter again. None of the kids. They don't know what happened to her to this day. That's what you have to do. And I'm going to leave it there. Thank you.
No problem, sister. As always, glad to have you up in the space. We're going to kick it to our last three speakers for the night. We're going to do Professor Trouble BW. We're going to do very quick convo because we're going to get ready. Like I said, we're going to start the other one space in a second. So, Professor, go ahead and knock it out real quick before we go ahead and do that. In the Jumbotron, I forgot the actual YouTube channel and newsletters actually in there to the fourth on the right. So you guys go ahead and click one of those bubbles on the far right. I think the third and the fourth one. So go ahead and please click that and subscribe to the YouTube channel and the newsletter as well too. Definitely will appreciate that. Also, if you can support us on Cash App, that's also in the actual Jumbotron too. Our Cash App is $Newstoter, $Newstoter. Go ahead, Professor.
Yeah, thank you again, Newstoter, for allowing me to come up and speak, brother. I actually have to apologize because I took the space into a completely different direction than what I wanted to when we were talking about TJ Holmes. I mentioned my personal experience, but I was really just trying to talk about the fact that TJ Holmes has put himself in a bad situation because we know historically what happens with black men when they get involved with white women. And, it's one thing to get involved with one while you're a kid, but you doing this stuff while you're a grown-ass man, and you're doing it with multiple women, and you got a black wife at home, so now you put yourself in the danger zone. But it seemed like this space ended up turning into the whole interracial dating thing. So, Newstoter, you might have to hold a dating space, bro. You probably ain't never thought about that. But
yeah,
we hold like a black man, black woman matching type thing.
We definitely kind of got sidetracked a little bit because we started going to the interracial thing, and I guess it was because of TJ, and also even with the Cosby thing as well too. That the Cosby dealing with the white women. So yeah, we'll definitely have to do maybe a swirling space or something like that. Interracial.
No, it don't be no swirling space. No, it'll be it'd be just the black man, black woman having a conscientious talk about the black man and the black woman bringing themselves closer together. And we already close, but we just want to make sure that there's nothing that
this space here, Professor, turned into about interracial dating and mixing and stuff like that. So you may just have to have a swirling space because like that's a big topic. You can see that now. Like that was like
that is true.
Let me go ahead. Professor, you finished?
Oh, yeah, I'm done. I am.
All right. Let me kick it to you, Trouble. You were setting it off earlier, and then I saw you went down to listening, but you were setting it off. You had me like, oh, man, you hit me tonight with some of that stuff. You talking about the cat. I was talking about this. Hey, you got it.
Look, my parents
I think we losing you. I think you may be in the matrix now. Yeah, trouble. We losing you because you've been breaking up from the time you came off your mic. Yeah, yeah. I think we may have. I don't know if we lost. It's kind of mumbled. Oh, she disconnecting. She disconnecting. Well, I guess we'll see her in the other space as well, anyway. So, Ray, DJ, you guys want to go ahead and say something? Or you go ahead and start that space up? Make it too long. Like, oh, she coming back. Hold on, let's let her get it in because I want to hear what Trouble got to say. BW, she's back again too. So, all right, BW, you up here? Trouble was up here. Trouble.
Can you hear me?
I can hear you. Yeah, I can hear you.
Am I still in the matrix?
Nah, you sound clearer now.
Everybody look like. Oh, okay. I'm about to say look like everybody in the matrix. Okay, so since y'all talking about the interracial, I'm gonna just hit that up real quick. My mother never really talked to us too much until I was in the 7th grade and brought home a picture with a little white boy with DJ Quick was out at that time with the Sweet Black Pussy song. And so that's when she told us girls don't come home with nothing whose toes is pinker than yours. And that's when we had that whole conversation. But I think with black men and black women, it is a lot of disinformation and misinformation out there. As Newstoter was saying earlier, there's more black marriages than there is anything else. Everything else has been put out there to cause division between black men and black women. Now, we look at who runs the entertainment industry. Who runs the entertainment industry? We all know the little small hats are the ones who's running the entertainment industry. That's why when the sister was saying, well, we see all of these commercials and these movies and these A, B, and C and shows with interracial relationships, you're not lying. But who's putting all of that information out? And then she also made the point that, well, white people is kind of going crazy. Okay, well, there's a difference between, I guess, some white people and those who run the entertainment industry. Hence why there is a whole lot of confusion going on right now. So I think we need to keep all of that in mind and keep it into consideration that the disinformation between who black men is looking for and who black women is looking for has been put out there purposely for a reason. Their birth rates is low. They need somebody that's going to boost it up, and at the same time, these people who have made a hate campaign against black Americans or black people, period, is the ones who is hedging things up. They're causing. I believe they're the ones that's trying to cause a race war between the regular white folks around here and us. Especially via this integration thing with interracial thing with each other. So, but as Sister Taxation was saying, there's always been a history there where they don't care if the white girl is a slut bucket. They don't want the black man to look at her. And most of these women that these brothers is getting caught up with are slut buckets. They've given it to every Tom, Dick, and Harry, but they don't want Baron and Jamal to have it. So there's that. There's a whole lot else I want to say about it, but Newstoter, I know, Dolly, you're trying to close down the space, so I'm gonna let you go ahead and get on out your way on that one there.
Well, I'm sure I see you over there at DJ space tonight as well, too. So, BW, go ahead and unmute your mic. I'm gonna let you be the last speaker for the night, and that'll be it. Then we'll go ahead and we'll close it out.
Okay, I want to speak on that previous lady's. I think when she felt that black women are not protected. I have never seen a black man in the hood that he'll allow anybody to attack a black woman and don't jump to their defense. I think a lot of people look at social media and the way people behave, but a lot of this stuff is not even real. This is this social media that's helped destroy our culture too, because people are followers these days and they do whatever they see on this social media that's helping destroy us. And I believe too, these churches, they have brainwashed us so bad because we too damn forgiving. And some of us act like we don't understand. They teach us to love everybody and pray for the enemy and forgive people. And we should be forgiving people when they do us harm. And I think that's been programmed in my heart and our soul, and that's why we continue
go to the other side because we're looking for forgiveness or we want these people to like us because it's been pounded in our head. And just one more thing I want to say. When you talked about that relationship thing, getting our people together, I've been thinking about that for the longest. What I've been saying I want to do, eventually I'm going to do it, but I'm trying to figure out how I'm going to do it. I live in Michigan. I want to have a space. I'm not a therapist or anything. What I want to do is rent a building and have some. I don't want to do it a lot of people at once because I think a lot of times when you put a bunch of people together in a room, they don't be their natural self. I want more of a small setting and keep doing it like that. I want to do it with the younger people because I don't think they know anything about real relationships. I just want them to get in there, talk about their grievance and what they, what kind of issues they have, so they can help them resolve it. And that's going to help us build our Black unity again because it's bad for us. And so that's all I want to say. I just want to say that.
All right, sister. I appreciate having you again speak tonight. Ray, DJ, y'all go ahead and add something real quick, real quick, so we can go ahead and close the space up.
I know there's been a lot going on, obviously, with Brittney Griner and all the other things that are going on in the media, man. But something that I seen that was overlooked, that not a lot of people are talking about, so they need some type of recognition, is the fact that Marvin Gaye's wife passed away. I believe it was either yesterday or the day prior. I definitely want to let that, keep that sister's family in prayer.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah, I actually tweeted that out yesterday too. That was an article either from Atlanta Black Star or Black Enterprise. But yeah, I did tweet that out yesterday as well too. So peace to her family and prayers sent to her family as well too. DJ, you want to go ahead and add something real quick?
No, just come on over in the next room or whatever the case be. You already know we agree to agree. But get ready for the next room because some of y'all may not want to be up, man. Get ready.
That's what's up, man. We're gonna be heading to this next room. I got it all in one and everything else with my phone and stuff like that. Hopefully, these spaces have just been crap lately and whatnot too. So y'all make sure y'all check out WPI or DJ Space coming up in a second, y'all. I appreciate you guys as always coming out to the Newstoter space. We had another great space tonight. We covered Brittney Griner being freed, Bill Cosby's lawsuit, the TJ Holmes saga, Starbucks, and the racism that goes on with them. And we also was able to put in interracial dating as well too. So even though that was we was able to cover that as well too. So, and we gonna cover some of these same topics at DJ Space. Plus, he has an all topic space, so everything goes to his. So, we're gonna freestyle in his space too in a little bit too. So y'all make sure y'all come over there and tweet out the space as well too, man. And I appreciate you guys and everything. And definitely thank you to all of the co-hosts, the speakers, the listeners, and everybody who tweeted out the space. Monday through Thursday, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time is when you can usually catch us here on the Newstoter space. So we'll see you guys. You guys have a good weekend, and we will see you then. So make sure you come over to DJ Space, and we'll see you in a little bit, y'all. Y'all have a good one.
Yeah, come on over, y'all. Yes,
Nah, go ahead, Professor. I'm just saying 11:20, y'all.
Oh no, I was just saying everybody come on over, and I definitely want to see Trouble over there.